You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the July 15th meeting for the LaPorte County budget hearings. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
All right. Good morning. I'd like to restart the workshop for budget hearings, starting with Superior Court 2.
Good morning.
Morning, Judge.
Morning.
If you don't have it with you, your budget's in the book in front of you as well. So.
Okay. No, I think I'm prepared.
All right. Looks like you're asking for exactly what you asked for last year, minus the court-ordered supervision going up from $50,000 to just shy of $60,000, $59,550.
Yeah, and that's a fund that we hold for other billings and things that go through all of the supervised visits for other courts as well. So.
Okay, so when you say other billings, it's court-ordered supervision, but for the other courts.
And my court.
All the courts.
All the courts, right.
Yeah.
You're the one that holds
Right.
the...
I'm just the depository for it, yeah.
It's not going to other supplies, which was a conversation we had quite a bit about yesterday.
No, in fact, I think, I know Jackie Dermody's here, but we have to be very careful that we don't run over that budget each year because there's so much need for what's happening. We're just very cautious that we don't run over. So I think, and I don't know if this is happening, but I thought they were going to put a jury fund into my court for payment for other courts, but I'm not sure if that's happening.
Prepaid fund?
Okay. So, but it's not showing up when I look at my budget, but I know it's supposedly there, but.
We can explain.
Sure.
If you don't
Okay.
mind. There is definitely being taken care of.
Okay. So, and I'm happy to do that or whatever needs to be done to facilitate that as well.
That's the second to last line.
Okay.
On here. You're just not seeing on your current activity.
Okay.
We're getting that fixed.
Okay.
So it's a very specific number. Any reason why it went up 19.1%?
For the supervised?
Yes.
I think Ms. Dermody could explain that, maybe not me, so.
You got to
You come to the mic, please.
Unless you're going to yell real loud.
Do that. No doubt. I think that it's traditionally $50,000 a year, but I believe.
It might be off.
There you go.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Am I being recorded? Okay. It's traditionally $50,000 a year. I believe that Kay Stewart probably encumbered $9,000 at the beginning of the year because we don't get paid for the fourth quarter of the year until the third quarter of the next year. So it's always a little wonky at the beginning, but that's my guess because it's usually between $9,000 and $15,000 a quarter.
Okay.
9's really low because December, the last quarter, is usually smaller.
Yeah. So it's
50,000. It should be a flat 50,000.
Well, actually, maybe she did it because we were in deficit last year. I mean, we were in deficit last year, but I don't want to keep always coming back asking for more money.
You're always behind. You're paying last quarter bills.
Correct.
Correct.
By the time we get the bills, they're old, so we're paying them, as we
We
get them.
complete a quarter and submit an invoice, and then it usually takes 30 to 60 days to get reimbursed.
Yeah, that'd be an additional appropriation if we were to do that, right, for this year?
Right. But yeah.
And that's a number in my budget I don't pay attention to because it's really not money that I'm spending for me, so I rely on Jackie to.
Yeah, and Kay helps me. Yeah.
But we were just talking, if we gave another 95.50 sometime this year to make you whole this year, then that'll make everything, it'll put you correct.
Correct.
But we could just leave that at 50,000.
So
You see what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
So it's...
So I can come back and sit with you guys for another 3 or 4 hours to.
Of course.
Do it, so, yeah.
You just think, Jay.
So.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, but that's okay.
So you're not paying it you're not paying it out of the end of the year's quarter out of next year's money. You'll have enough money in that year to pay everything.
As long as it's encumbered.
Correct. And did you say 59,000?
Yes, that's what they said.
So well, maybe that wouldn't include the encumbrance. I do understand what you're saying, though. She would have already done that, right? Kay would have
I
already.
need the
encumbered.
9550, so,
It was encumbered.
Oh, okay.
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 Whatever was owed to you was encumbered last year.
So we don't need to,
encumbered, so
we don't need to do anything?
You don't need to really do
You don't-
anything.
I'm not sure how big the need is, because what happens is with this, the courts can tell you better than I can, the need for these court-ordered supervision, the number of cases may have been increasing. I don't know that answer, and that could be why that was put in here. Because it's not just them, there's another organization also that gets paid for supervised visits too. So she may be aware of the first 50,000, and the other one may be the other 9550.
So how much do you need? 50,000 or 59,000?
I'm going to say 50.
I mean, my right here, it looks like the encumbrance was 9550, so I think 50,000 is the number we need, so.
I'll entertain a motion, folks.
Make a motion to approve at the 2025 adopted budget.
For twos and threes.
Twos and threes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Novak for maintain the 2025 adopted budget for 2026 for twos and threes. Second by Mr. Kessler. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
On a side note, I want to thank all of you on the council for all the support at the LaPorte County Fair. I know I saw many of you out there. We have over 1,000 kids at the fair this year for 4-H. In addition, we did multiple improvements, and I know Mr. Kessler can share an article with you that was in the paper where our Supreme Showman judge, right, Brett, was very complimentary on the new building that the Fair Board built out there for all the kids to be able to show in. We would not be able to do that without the support that we've had from the council, and I appreciate that. In addition, and Brett can fill you guys in, we brought in close to 300 kids from Boys and Girls Club for free this year to expose them to the fair, hopefully make them interested in 4-H. In addition, we had all the YMCA camps come in for free this year to try to do the same thing. So appreciate all the help and all the support. I know I've talked to Mr. Gelski, who said that on the radio, but I wanted to say it here as well.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for everything the Fair Board does.
I'm still trying to recover sleep. So, yeah, I
Catch
know
up
that
with
guy.
me at noon.
I thought you were just resting your eyes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So that brings us to Drainage Board.
How come it's not?
136.
Well, 136 should be.
It's under
around
it's under
137.
surveyor. So,
That's right.
hold on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't think most of you know who I am. My name is John South. I'm the party chief for the LaPorte County Drainage Board.
Good morning, and thank you.
Of course we know who you are.
You did.
Surveyor.
It's under the Surveyor tab.
It's under 106, and it's
Very back page of it.
Yeah, there wasn't much that I was asking to change, just one item.
What? 106.
2 items, yes. Transfer.
Well, I see gas, fuel, and oil, you're asking for 1,500 versus the 1,000.
Yes,
And then we're asking for, publishing is actually reduced by
500.
500.
Yes.
I'm assuming it's because you moved 500 out of publishing into gas, fuel, and oil?
Yes, exactly.
All right, now, right now, you've got $173 expended through May of a $1,000 budget. Are you anticipating it going up?
Yeah, because I haven't gone out in the field as much as I normally do. This first half of the year, I've had a lot of stuff that I needed to do in the office.
Okay.
But now that that's kind of waning, I'll be going out in the field quite a bit more often.
Okay. What kind of field work is it that you're doing for the Drainage Board?
I do inspections of projects, I do complaint investigations, I do just general checking on the ditches because I cover all the regulated drains and ditches in the county.
Right.
And it includes the Kankakee, so that's usually a monthly thing where I go out and just check on the ditches to see what kind of shape they're in.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense, especially as high as the ones run down by La Crosse and so.
And plus the 500 also, I was figuring on a couple of oil changes that I could get during the year and use the money for that as well.
Okay, now is that something that comes out of the complex garage, or is that something that's done by outside service?
I do it with an outside service, Harmon's.
Okay.
I've asked to have the sheriff's department look at it. Connie Garmarosa asked me to contact them, and they said they were too busy to take any more trucks. So that's why I ended up going to a private company to do it.
Mark?
Is that a nerve I hear?
Yeah, that was
a nerve.
All right.
not your phone. Ridiculous.
All right, you keep signaling over here. What do you got?
So who's doing the surveying? Do you guys have any?
The survey is a separate, we've actually split apart. I mean, we were together, but now.
I understand that, but do you have any need for a surveyor?
We do occasionally, yes.
So where's that come out in your
That's under the engineer section. Where it's 2735.
2,700 covers all of your surveying?
So far, yes, because we've only been asking Tony Hendricks to do reviews of drain crossing applications, and he's charged us anywhere from $50 to $150 per.
Okay.
So we've got plenty of money.
Just wanted to make sure you had it covered.
Yeah, unless something large comes up.
Right.
If he has to do a surveyor's report, if we reassess a ditch or something, then we're probably going to need to ask for more money at that point. But right now, that's not in the works for the rest of.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's mostly administrative and related to applications. Okay. Any further questions? Yes, Mr. Mullenhour.
Just a little bit more on the truck. What type of vehicle, age, mileage, is that part of the surveyors?
Well, actually, the surveyor said yesterday that they had a 2006 and 2008 truck. The 2006 is actually the drainage board truck, and that's a GMC Sierra 1500. It's got 126,000 miles on it.
How's it running?
The engine runs great, but I think it's going to rust and fall apart before the engine stops running.
Okay.
But
Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. It's character.
Just on that note, I'll contact, I'm a sheriff department liaison, so I'll contact the garage and see what the problem might be.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Question on, I'm noticing in your budget here, you have a line item for attorney fees. There's been a lot of conversation during our workshops about attorney fees. The Drainage Board picks its own attorney?
Yeah, Brad Adamski is our attorney, and he gets paid per meeting, $241.50 per meeting.
Why does the Drainage Board get to pick their own attorney?
Drainage boards always had their own attorney, haven't they?
As far as I know, yeah.
Because they're kind of a.
Actually, I would say combination. For how many years? 100 years, they both came up together. We only have, now we separate each other, so. Mike's on. Thank you. It's been on. Thank you.
She's used to you yelling in the mic.
Oh, I'm not yelling though enough. Okay. So it actually is not just them. The surveyor uses the same attorney, so they work together. I guess we're not working together anymore right now. We're cooperating again, but that was a combined for all these years. They came up together usually in budget hearings.
Okay, just making note of this for later.
Just a jab. We get it.
It was a jab.
Yeah, we got it.
All right. Any further questions from the council? With that, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the 200s and 300s.
Motion by Mr. Keel to approve 200s and 300s. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Mullenhour. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
6-1.
You don't get to say it.
Thank you, Mr. South.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes. Twice.
That will see MS4 and soil and water. I didn't realize that we had a celebrity joining us too.
I'd have to check.
And he's never seen?
I can't be.
Maybe he didn't realize.
He didn't take that truck, so it's that. He just said that's his truck.
We good? Good.
Took one of the two. Then that was the right truck he took, then I guess.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
How do we want to start? Do we want to start with MS4?
Well, sure.
All right.
Okay, well, we're requesting the same amount as last year for the 2s and 3s. It's $21,950. And Carl's here. I don't want to get ahead of questions.
What number is?
What's that?
161.
158 is soil and water, and 161 is MS4. Sorry,
That's okay.
correct the numbers.
So the budget for 161 we're asking is the same as last year. There's a couple line items that are reshuffled a little, but it is basically the same at 76,950. Part of Paul's salary is paid out of the soil and conservation through a grant, and also there's 18,000 is also paid out of Department 158. the new fund that we're creating for stormwater operations to really work with the MS4 program is the Stormwater Operations Fund, and that, I believe, is 4024. I think it's going to be a new fund. And it's going to be funded through the review fees that Paul will charge development that is coming in for review and for approval. And so we believe that fund will be self-sufficient together with, we're going to be coming back to you end of this month to transfer some funds from two other, the MS4 non-reverting fund and the MS4 entity participation fund. We're going to be asking to transfer those funds into the new stormwater operations fund that will then, going forward, we're hoping over time that together with the cash balance and the fees will cover more of the budget in subsequent years, but we're still requesting that we keep the same amount for next year in Department 161.
May I?
Absolutely. Mr. Novak.
What you're actually requesting is $10,000 less. Look at the book.
There's
the
a-
book in front of you. If you flip open the book, you'll see what we're looking at.
So look for tab 138.
160.
Or
161 for this one.
Sorry, we got
There's a $10,000 reduction in employee education and training.
Didn't we not have 15,000 additional dollars we paid?
No, we split things up and cost through salaries, which is shown in the first three rows.
Okay.
Because it doesn't jive
Took
with
the
your
original
sheets.
person and split them through it.
What are we doing with the person that we paid for 15 grand?
You see what we're looking at?
1,000s when we get there.
Yeah, I have the corrected, what it should be. Can I approach?
So tell us
Can I
what it should.
can I hand you this?
If you just say what the
10,000
difference
shouldn't be
is.
changed?
So the difference is $10,000. So we transferred that to professional services. So
Professional.
most of the amount that was in there we left some for employee education at 2,200. And then we also moved some to a category from mileage to a category per consultation with Joey and Mike to claims. And the reason for that was beyond office supplies, so that comes out of a 300 account. Am I saying that right?
200.
200 account?
copies right now.
I have them all right here, Mike.
Just like miscellaneous claims.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to walk here.
Bottom line is, it still comes out to $76,950.
Yeah, I have it all on the balance sheet. It's easier to show you.
Yeah. 76915.
I guess they could get transferred.
Thank you.
Yeah.
These transfers were done on April 23rd.
We did some shuffling on April 23rd of the 200s and the 300s, I believe. And then
So office supplies remains at 12.
Yep.
So 4,300 for claims, 20
I'm not following this.
professional services,
That's
12,550,
weird.
mileage 1,700. And employee education training 22.
This is layover amount that I just discovered this morning. That must have been in the
Yeah, they are.
mileage before we shuffled money around. And so that didn't get in there either. So this is
So, just for clarity here,
It's an increase.
what you're requesting is what we see in that first general blue column for General Fund Department 161. And I'm going to read as follows for the 200s and 300s. You've got claims for 4,300. You've got 1,200 for office supplies, 12,550 for professional services, 1,700 for mileage, and 2,200 for employee education and training. Is that correct?
That is
That's what
correct.
we should be looking at here on our form.
that's correct.
Okay.
Which totals $76,950,
Which
same
is-
as last year.
Same as last year. So, comments, questions from the board?
I shouldn't say same as last year, it's same as proposed for this year.
My question is, it's the same amount, correct? Mm-hmm. And they're putting the first deputy $15,000 more? Is that correct?
Correct.
They shifted it.
Okay, yeah, okay. So what about this secretary administration? Is that person gone or something, or?
That's Chris.
So it's got that 15, oh, okay, I see it. Okay.
Motion to approve as for the 2s and 3s.
What are we approving? Are we approving what we have?
The changes that they recommended.
The changes they recommended.
Right.
All right, so we need to add a line for claims.
Did you get a copy of this, Mike?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And I've rewritten the sheet to reflect their changes. And
Just to clarify, the miscellaneous claims is what, a catch-all for all claims that don't fit into some other category, or what's the?
The use of my personal vehicle making claims was a significant amount last budget. There is an assigned EV truck now, so it's a combination of maintenance on the truck. Also, there are times where I need instruments and equipment to do my job. One of the things that is lacking right now is a laser level. So when I'm going out and I'm verifying compliance with complaints or enforcement actions, we don't have to beg and borrow and steal from other departments. So that would be another item. So a little bit of an unknowns area. So, we had in mileage, isn't that 300s also with the claims? So that we can work those two together.
This is 20200, so.
The claims are in the 200s.
Mileage is in the 3.
Right. So on an electric vehicle, how much maintenance is an electric vehicle?
I don't know. I just got it.
What would you think? I mean,
I'm the lucky recipient of a grant.
understand that. I don't know of any cost. I know that you're going to incur that. I know of unless you.
Well, a light already went on, so it needs service. I'm assuming that that's covered under a warranty. I've got maintenance required light. I don't know, but just the laser level alone would just about eat that up. I'm waiting to see. The laser level's not an urgency. It's something that would be good to have in the truck when we need it. Would make my job more effective.
I understand the laser. I'm just trying to figure out what your statement about cost.
I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to it because the truck seems to be pretty maintenance free. It's a computer.
Pretty much a warranty too. So
yeah. So
can we?
Could that maybe
over time you would assume brakes and tires, those kind of things.
That's right.
We're not talking right now. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Can we get this miscellaneous claims narrowed down to maybe a specific category, so that way it's pegged for one thing as opposed to a broader bucket?
Ridiculous. It was a suggestion made by the auditor's office to put it in that way. So that's I think a good
Suggestion by the council to
break it up.
Something else.
How about equipment supplies?
Yeah.
Or equipment, whichever.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Is anything changing with your guys' future fee structures from the state or anything?
There's
down the road.
The state expects the program to be funded. So there are a number of ways you can fund a program. One is a utility. The other one is the permitting fees. We're utilizing permitting fees. We have a tier-based structure that we devised that I think is fair across the board. So the average out of the last 41 permits that we've issued out of our office, the average comes to about $1,800. If you go over to some of the places, Porter County, they're slightly above us. We're on par with Hendricks County, which is another county MS4 in Greenfield. I thought that was a good comparison. So on average, we're collecting about $1,800 per, significant site development.
Okay.
Of the larger counties, are any of the counties sharing their cost with the MS4?
Yeah, Tippecanoe County has that sort of a structure.
Because we started this whole we started the whole program out with this cost sharing. Unfortunately, we messed up in Michigan City, pulled out, and then it fell apart. But we didn't. We failed to do our part of it. But is there a chance to combine that up so we can at least see some savings in the future for all the counties, all the municipalities?
Yeah, I think Michigan City is pretty well set with Christopher Burke as a consultant, and they're without Wallace just devising a new stormwater ordinance. The ones that I think would make sense to pick up are some of the smaller MS4s, Long Beach, Trail Creek, Potawatomi Park. I mean, Potawatomi Park is 50 homes,
I understand.
a
yeah.
golf course, and Friendship Gardens. So we work hand in hand with Friendship Gardens, so I could see maybe something happening there, you know, with the work that we're doing along Trail Creek.
Yeah, because it was very successful at first, I mean, with everybody, but I'd like to see if we can find a way to get that together again, get a team together that works like that.
It makes sense for the smaller communities to just be in the county, in my opinion.
Thank you.
All right, so I have a motion. Did I get a second? Motion from Mr. Novak to accept for all the changes.
Second, but with a friendly amendment to clarify miscellaneous claims to some sort of equipment category.
Mr. Rosenbaum.
This is the first year. It would be good to go through the first year utilizing miscellaneous claims. You're going to limit what account that they can put things in when they have expenses come up. By allowing miscellaneous claims, we can analyze it the first year, and then we can start separating more the second year. If you're just going to call it equipment supplies and it doesn't fit in that category, but it's something that they need, you're creating a problem. So that's why I would suggest that you leave it as miscellaneous claims. You leave it as claims for 1 year, and then we can take a look and analyze it. We don't know what this is going to be. They think it's going to be that, but we don't know.
I mean, they can always come back and ask for a transfer, right?
They'd have to ask for a transfer.
You're just asking more paperwork. So I'm trying to make it simple for the first year, and then we'll break it down even further if we need to.
For the amount of $4,300 is the added effort necessary?
I'm slightly uncomfortable about just writing blank checks for broad.
No one is writing blank checks. You keep saying this, but everything has to be approved. Everything has to be done properly. I'm just looking not so that we don't have to make a nightmare when it comes to the county. We're not talking about $430,000. We're talking about $4,300.
The thing is I would somewhat agree. It's nice to know what it's going to be used for, not just a.
I mean, we ask every other
Catch all
department
for
that comes here before us to explain what it's for. So, I mean,
Yeah, and things got broken up in the past couple of years, and it's been a nightmare because of some of the things that you've tried to do before with the prior administration. I'm trying to keep things simple so that we can go back, we can look exactly what was spent in that account, give you whatever detail that you want, anytime that you want.
do you feel like it's not going to fit into a category that was labeled equipment?
Oh, I feel like we're going into a year where there are quite a few unknowns. I think the state is coming up with their new permitting program. I understand that the county is going to be a separate type of MS4 moving forward, have its own categories. All of our costs are related to a stormwater quality management plan, which fits into our general permit. So I think, I have no issues with checking first, letting people know what it's for, but just allowing some flexibility for that amount makes sense to me.
That's your call. I don't have a problem tightening it up, but
I prefer it
doesn't
tightened,
matter to
but
me.
if you want to separate it into a separate amendment to the original motion, that's fine. If you want to vote it separate.
All right. Do I have a second to the amendment?
If you got a title, I don't have a problem changing it, but
Is there an account that makes more sense that's titled equipment? Is there an existing account number that has
if we
equipment
put
versus claims?
equipment / mileage /
We don't have one of those is the problem, right?
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
/ whatever LC
Tools.
That's equipment. So, that's your call.
I'm going to stick with equipment for the category for this, but
Or other miscellaneous claims.
something we're already at.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm just trying to.
Mr. Otter, do we have an account number? Okay.
Now,
400 accounts, so that means he can't.
if it's equipment, we're talking equipment supplies, or are we talking equipment?
It'd probably be equipment supplies.
Yeah.
There's just
Are
equipment.
you good with that?
400 accounts.
Yeah.
We don't have an equipment supplies account in the State Board of Accounts.
Okay,
We just
what
have
are our
equipment
choices?
With the 400 account.
But did you say you're also paying mileage out of there?
It's separate.
No, you got a separate line.
Separate account. The reason we're leaving the mileage in there, Chris does drive when the, okay. Okay. small amount.
Better to put just.
Alrighty then.
What are we they're looking.
Oh, they're
How, I mean, that's institutional supplies.
It's those little things that.
Justin, everything I'm seeing from here, you fall into office supplies, other supplies, or miscellaneous claims.
How about like supplies and other services?
Where are you finding that? What's the number on it?
Looking.
Is that the 30120 account?
There is no supplies and other services.
It's just
Other supplies? Although that's equally vague.
Yeah.
Supplies are typically 200 accounts and services are typically 300 accounts, so if we leave it at claims.
Make a motion, can we just vote on the motion first and see if anybody wants to put this any further?
Yeah, I agree.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
We do that and then just come back
Make a
and
motion, let's
clarify
get this
it.
first thing and get, and if you guys got a second.
Approve it and then come back and tweak this. You
All
want
right. So, motion by Mr. Novak, seconded by Mr. Keel, in order to accept the changes from what was provided to us in the booklet to what has been brought before us in terms of the 2s and 3s. Is the motion. All in favor of those changes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
All right. So now regarding the claims.
No.
Do we need, is this something we need to, like, maybe
This can be
act
handled.
on at the end of the,
This
talk
can be
about it at
handled
the
before
end
the
of the
next
day.
one.
you want to do, we can do it, you guys can, like, look at it and
Yeah,
we can do it
Make a
now or we can
suggestion.
do it another time.
yeah.
We just gotta, you gotta remember not to.
We already have a
Put it on my
note on our page.
There.
Yeah, I'm fine pushing this out down the road and listen to recommendations and see what we can come up with.
You obviously didn't listen to the recommendation, but that's okay.
Ooh,
All right.
And feisty.
that even got a head turn from IT.
You don't realize how many problems were caused
All
by
right,
some of the things done in
let's
previous
keep moving
administration.
forward.
I'm trying to be kind about it.
Is everybody good with MS4?
Yep.
All right, let's move
About
on.
the 42 or 40,000 fund.
Not
40
doing 100 accounts.
We're not doing 100s.
No, this is for the new fund, the Stormwater Operations Fund.
Where's it at?
Where's that at?
Yeah.
Where would you submit it at?
I don't know if it's in the book or not, but
Did you
it's
submit
a
it?
new fund.
It's not in the book, it's the gray column that he's showing you here.
And that's for a total of
It hasn't been created
65,000.
because it hasn't been passed yet. It's on the agenda for the commissioners meeting tomorrow night.
All right, so let's hold this over until we get into the other workshops, just because we don't even, it's a pending commissioner decision.
Right, we don't want to get it.
And again, this is going to be funded totally from fees, and it's not going to be out of the general fund.
Right. So
Okay,
just-
that's good to know.
Yep.
Good information.
Okay.
All right, we will revisit that. Moving on to soil and water.
Motion to approve as presented, 2s and 3s. Is there 2s? Nope, there is.
No.
There is none.
It's just ones.
Oops, sorry.
So soil and water is 138. What's the actual number? 158.
158.
So we'll just hold it over.
Those are all 100s.
They're all 100s. Let's hold over until
Yep.
until further workshops. So unless you folks have anything else to present,
Nope.
you're up to hook. Good to go. Thank you. Thanks for coming in. All right. So we are moving quickly. We have
Pretty much.
9:35 and 9:40. Wow, we are ahead. So
We should not be.
who do we have present? We've got the commissioners, we've got county highway.
We just texted the assessors, so they should be here in a moment,
All
a
right.
few minutes.
Do county highway then?
Okay.
County highway.
You want to move to county highway? Charity, if you wouldn't mind?
Where's all these numbers are? Where's highway? Which one, where is highway?
There's a highways in,
That 2,500,000, 2 million.
yep.
Towards the back.
What's the first number?
201 back.
Okay.
What's the first?
Motor vehicle highways 11, because we have all of the,
There's a bunch.
yeah, there's a bunch.
2,000.
All right. Where would you like to start?
Where would you like to start? MVH?
Let's go with MVH restricted,
Wait a minute.
or MVH 1176. Let's go with
Am I wrong? First one is lit.
lit economic development. Let's go with that one.
Take them in order.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. 2s and 3s. We've got 1 million and 4 million for other supplies and other services and charges. And then the stipend, more or less, the bump. Any questions, concerns from the council?
Motion to approve 2s and 3s. 2s. There are no.
Are we doing MVH restricted right now?
There's 2s and 3s. 2s and 3s.
Is it?
What are you doing right now?
We are on lit economic development 1112-2.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You mentioned MVH, so
Yeah, that's where we started. We just go to top of the order, top of the batting order. All right.
And the 5 million here is for paving
wait.
projects, right?
Paving,
Other miscellaneous.
I've got a motion. Do I have
we
a second?
finish our striping. We do, extra fuel comes out of there, extra tires. Yeah, it's just all road work. And
So looking through,
oh, sorry. So for my capital assets, my plan is to start trying to buy 2 trucks a year out of this 5 million,
starting when?
starting next year. 2 trucks a year in equipment out of, the way I have my capital asset plan done is to take either 500,000 or between 5 and 850 to buy new equipment and 2 trucks a year to get us back on a plan out of this money here, out of the 5 million, no additional appropriations.
Would this impact the amount of paving that's being done,
No.
or is it separate? Okay.
Yep.
So do we want to break this out into, takes portion of this and move it to equipment to dedicate it towards the plan?
I don't.
Or if I have to come back to ask permission anyway to buy equipment, can it just be transferred?
Still got to come back and ask.
Yeah.
It's not. We're
Yeah,
not
it's-
giving them permission to buy trucks.
There are additional
Right.
funds, so we should
They're not
stick with what
broke
we're
up
doing.
yet.
Let her keep coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
It's not.
I'm looking,
Yeah.
I'm entertaining questions, right? Entertaining
Yeah,
other
yeah.
thoughts. All right, so I have motion and second on the floor.
who were they?
I have motion by Novak, second by Kessler.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? With that, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay. Moving on to,
Actually, sorry, that'd be an aye. This is their own fund. We can't flex it. Anyways, that would be an aye on that vote.
Got it. Changed it.
Sorry.
Thank you.
7-0.
Good job.
All right, so we got
Cumulative
bridge.
Bridge.
No, bridge 135.
Okay, question, Mr. President. So how are we doing with their fund? I know we ask this every year with Cume Bridge. Is this part where we're, probably it's not. Is this where's the part where we take out the money for the bridge tender?
That's out of Major Bridge.
So we do a major bridge. Okay, thank you. Never mind.
But our bridge crew gets paid for like 15 pays out of King Bridge.
Correct.
Yes.
So we're okay money-wise there.
Yes.
0.76.
Okay. Got it, thank you.
And as far as the 200 and 300 accounts, nothing has changed. It all stays the same. There's a bunch of grants in there, but that is all done by encumbrances.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Mr. Yagowski. Do I have a
300s.
twos and
Twos
threes?
and threes, yes. Twos and threes.
Do I have a second?
So we're doing that very often.
Second by Mr. Novak. Any further discussion?
Question on the, while the 100s are not up for consideration at the moment, they'll be reviewed later. I do notice that you have increases in some of these.
Yes,
Can
I
you elaborate?
increased all of my 100 accounts to make up for, I submitted a proposal to the evaluation committee. I was advised to include the increases in my 144s, so that's what I did. My proposal is to give everybody 11.25% increase. I know it sounds like a lot, but that is would start our employees out at $24 an hour. Right now, they start out at $21.58. We're short 5 employees right now. We have had 13 people in the last 3 years start and quit within 6 months because of the pay. They can't make it on the pay. So my proposal brings them to $24, and the average of all the surrounding counties is $24.77 starting average.
And we're at
That would only be $361,000 for all the budget, $361,000 increase.
what are we at right now, starting pay 20?
$21.58.
Yeah.
Question, Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. Yagowski.
So I understand what you're asking for, but I know that this came into a big, huge issue because of, again, you're got the committee that does this. It falls into a whole bunch of people in that area about giving them raises, nobody else. Did we ever get that fixed? And that's the question.
The LTC3.
Because I know we've asked, but that's not what asking and
Right.
how to straighten the problem out is two different questions.
The issue is the CDL people, separating them from, because if we give the LTC3s an increase, it gives maintenance
Right.
workers all the same increase, and I never
Tell me the new,
got anywhere.
you guys understood? Yeah.
I think the highway should have its own LTC.
Well, we do
scale.
too, but that's not the case. We have to figure ourselves out internally. It's not yours.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
This has been going on for quite a few years, and I asked if it's been resolved yet.
That's something, let's look at if we could split that out. I don't know that part. It was the part of putting drivers at a 4 versus, separating them because of the
Classification.
CDL. Yeah.
Yeah, in the past, Widener, Irwin, and Shealy, who is the one that's prepared and advised us on the salary classification system, has advised against creating separate buckets for classifications for certain departments. They don't recommend expanding it. So I mostly asked about this just because, in order for us to give a raise to your employees, it also would require that all the same people with that same classification get a raise as well. Right. So
I personally don't feel as though all the maintenance people fall into the same category as somebody that has to maintain a CDL and driving equipment operators, and somebody that, I guess, changes the life, a basic maintenance person. I'm not saying all the maintenance.
Widener and Shealy, we hire them for advice, but that doesn't mean it's gospel.
Sure, yeah, and I don't disagree. There's inherent flaws with
our
the
attorneys
system.
looked at this in the past, but we have not. We let this ball keep rolling down the hill, so it hasn't been resolved yet.
We'll have something more for the next meeting.
What was the reasoning, Justin, for not doing it?
They didn't.
It kind of defeats the whole purpose by having, and they can explain it a lot better. They're experts at this. They do this for a lot of other counties. But yeah, the thought is that if you have everybody in these categories, LTC, Comets, and they're by classification, it eliminates the politicization of wages. So you don't have people going, oh, I like that guy, they get a raise. I don't like that person. They're based off of what their actual duties and job performance is.
Everything fits in a nice, neat box.
Yeah, the problem is it's a little bit too nice and neat
Fortunately,
sometimes, and there's situations that just don't fit in it well.
Or broad boxes instead of.
Well, yeah, something's gonna have to be done though, because come winter we're gonna be very short-handed.
Right.
If
Are you
nothing's
on that? Are they on the schedule for the?
Are you up there for Friday?
What's Friday?
We have a job evaluation meeting Friday.
I was not told about it. No.
Contact Monique as soon as you leave.
Yeah, well, she has this proposal that I sent her. So yeah.
You have to come.
Yeah. All
right. So we have a motion on the floor accepting the 2s and 3s for Cumulative Bridge 1135-213. Any further questions?
Real quick. So, how many months did you say that we're taking for the fees for the Cume Bridge out?
15 pays. Because they plow in the winter still, so you can't take out the months that they're they're still plowing. So you can only use it whenever they're actually working on bridge work.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? With that, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? LRS 1169-207.
No
Flat.
changes.
No changes, flat from last year.
Motion approved. They're all 2s and 3s.
Yep.
As presented.
Motion approved by Mr. Novak. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Mullenhour. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Major Bridge, 215.
Here's your bill.
Only got one 300.
Yep.
Before we get into any conversation, Mr. President, I'd like to ask for a proposal because we're trying to find some savings and so on and so forth. For the last 40 years, we lay off these employees that are working the bridge tender.
Yep.
And it's only 3 months, and really that costs us because we have to pay into the retirement, or into the unemployment fund. I'd like to see if we can it's 3 months. If we always say we have projects around here we can do. I'd like to just go ahead and keep those people employed because we're paying for their insurance, we're paying for their benefits, we're paying for everything. It's a no cost. It's a no cost to us. Full-time, part-time employees, just make them full-time like they are because they're getting all the benefits, they're getting everything else that's out there.
It's something.
So it doesn't have to be your department, but if we can, I know in the past you guys have brought trucks in and painted them or whatever,
Well,
You guys did a good job at one time doing that.
when they hire in the bridge tenders, they are on a schedule. That's what they know that they're getting hired in for.
I understand, but,
Yeah, I don't
but things
know.
changed. We're trying to make more efficient here, and this is an efficiency. This is not it's not a punishment. It's not a penalty. It's to be more efficient. So if we're employing them, let's employ them the next 3 months, and because we're going to have to pay into that fund anyway.
So in order to do so, I would see that we'd have to change the job description, bring it before the Job Evaluation Committee, and then consider reducing the bridge tender and changing it over to whatever this new
Laborer?
position would be, whatever position it is that you
I would have to find something in the department for them to do for 3 months.
It doesn't have to be you. It could be any one of us.
Oh,
We just like we do here with the people that have been injured and we try to find other work for them. It's the same thing. We can use them in the county itself. I'm just looking at trying to make it more efficient. That's what
that's
An idea.
At this point, it's nothing more than a discussion point this morning, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So right now we have, for discussion this morning, we have 30120, other services and charges in the amount of 86,629, which is the same as last year, coming out of Fund 1171. Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion to approve 300 account.
Motion approved by Mr. Novak. Second. Second by Mr. Kessler. Any further discussion?
Just a quick question. So then, you said that actually the money has gone up to we're up to $2 million. You said for a while we were worried that because of the money we were taking out that money was going down. Do we have any issues with that, or?
No, I mean, this money's budgeted in. I don't ever really use it all that year, all of it every year. But when something happens with the bridge, that money's there for backup.
I get it. I
So,
like
yeah.
it, but I'm just saying, are you
Yeah.
worried? Are you worried about it?
No, I'm not worried about
That's
it.
all. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right. Gil.
I just want to bring up the point that these are both Major Bridge and Cumulative Bridge are funds that receive property tax revenue. We're able to adjust within our overall levy where that levy is allocated. And so as we're trying to find ways to shore up the general fund, reducing expenditures in Major Bridge or Cumulative Bridge and shifting those expenses to another highway-related fund could be a way that we could free up levy for the general fund.
Okay.
So just a consideration for later in the process.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thanks.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? MVH restricted 1173.
It's a big one.
That's just the 200 and 300 account. 3 million's appropriated every year. It kind of mirrors MVH 1176. They go hand in hand now. And then the others are 100 accounts where money just gets switched around for claims adjustments between MVH restricted and MVH.
So I'm looking here, it says that there's none requested in 2s and 3s.
That should be.
First threes.
21007 and,
We're charging
oh, it ends in 0203. Are you on the right?
I'm in 1170, we're in 0204.
Yeah, it ends in 0203.
Oh, there we go. I see further up.
Motion approved, Mr. President.
Where she's talking for folks, and I appreciate it, Mr. Yagowski. Motion made, Mr. Yagowski, to approve 4. We're looking at 1173, 30120, and 21007.
Is the, just a, Matt?
Yes, Mr. Novak.
So is it was 7,965,000 last year, and this year it's 7,300,000? It's gone down?
It was 6,951,000 last year.
Ms. Glazer, if you would, the book in front of you has all the individual tabs. You go to, don't know what the tab is you guys are looking at.
201, it's towards
201, and it's
4 pages back, 5 pages back.
From the end.
yeah.
What we have is we've got 0203 and 0204 bunched in one.
There's a lot here.
and you'd have to go to the end of the MVH
You
restriction.
want to get a second, then we can,
Yeah.
okay. Second, and motion to get
Yeah, you have a motion. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Novak. Thank you. Now, for the motion, right, we're accepting 0203 for those 2 accounts. And that's your second? These 2 accounts right here? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, the other accounts are 100 accounts, like I said, for claims adjustments, because MVH restricted, they approve, since it's all for pavement, reconstruction, preservation for roads, you can do claims adjustments for the work categories and make up some of the difference and restrict it and put it back into MVH, because all the salaries come out of MVH.
Okay.
1176.
So regarding the 0204, do you see where there's 0 requested
I don't
into?
even see it in this book. It's 201.
201, it's quite a ways back. So it'd be the end of the MVH restricted 1173.
On 1176.
Right.
Dropped it by 3 million.
Okay. So which one you want me to look at?
The last page of 1173.
The last page of 1176, because she's off.
The last.
So all of them combined, two,
Yeah.
1, 2,
Right.
3, something,
Right there.
then rolls into this page, and this is the page that they're,
Okay.
okay? I'll leave this here and come back and get it.
Okay.
Especially when everything you're looking at has a higher number on it. This didn't add right.
So,
You see,
Mr. Auditor, if you look at his numbers, look at the 1176. Why just show that it's 5,444,444 and then budget's 8 million? Why is that big difference there?
Well, that's because I changed all 100 accounts. So you have to go back and,
No, but your budget should be this
Well, then it should be higher.
higher, not lower. You're $3 million
you want
lower.
1176 or are you still in 1173?
He jumped to 1176.
You're looking, because you're looking your stuff up. Right now, I'm talking to the auditor, and I'm asking the auditor why the numbers are,
both of them show less money being requested this year than last year.
There's a note on a lot of these. There's a note on a lot of these that says the amount appropriated for
Must be
whatever
split.
location must be split. There's some sort of regulatory change here that's driving some of this?
So this was happened last year. We mirrored MVH 1176 and 1173 to do the claims adjustments for the salaries. So they're exactly the same, but the money, the 1173s the salaries never get paid out of here. So once we do the claims adjustments, then the money gets put back into 1176. So those claims adjustments might be throwing off the balances from what I had originally. But the lower, we have a lot of new employees, so that might be why the salary stuff is lower too, because we don't have the 25, 30-year employees anymore.
if I like example, then let's stay with one part of it. The 1176 has, workman's comp, tree trimming, trash. It's gone down by $3 million.
That's a big jump.
We're jumping to 7.6 now?
I guess because she doesn't know about the other ones. That's why I asked her to come to this one because I went over the big three.
Man, where is he? 7?
The 2 and 300 counts did not change. Those are all the same.
The number.
Okay, but either which way.
Oh, hold on. Gentlemen,
Okay,
look at Motor Vehicle Highway 1176 had a typo in the total adjusted. So I changed mine to sums where those were typed in. What you should see under amount requested in 2020 for 2025 should be $5,009,053.
Okay.
So those totals are.
Give that to us.
I'll read it across. So 2025 requested.
When you're on 1176?
1176 totals. Cross out that whole bottom row from here across.
Yeah.
Start with $5,009,053. All right, the next column. 4965357. And expended is 1512187.
That number is right.
All right.
All right, thank you. That clears that up.
Never mind.
All right, so back to 1173.
Okay. Back to 1173.
And what are those numbers?
Those numbers, let me make sure, so it's 8 million was what was requested, 8,012,813 for last year. 7,965,357 was approved.
So it is a $500,000 reduction.
Yes.
Was there some sort of particular item that was reduced by that, or is this spread across?
Well, so where that is in all of the 0204s, it was all the 2s and 3s were reduced to 0.
Oh, so last year is when we had to switch the accounts from 21, it was the miscellaneous account. And then halfway through the year, remember, we had to switch it to the 2s and 300s. So we had to break it up.
And now
That might be the adjustment too.
I'm going to make a friendly amendment that we approve the 2025 budget numbers as presented.
Because you don't have these 2026 don't make any
For
sense.
2s and 3s.
Yeah.
current, so
Nothing was changed in 2s and 3s.
All right.
Yes, sir. I'll go along with that.
all right, so is your friendly amendment for all of the location 0203 and 0204?
There's no 0204 except in the 100, so that's not getting approved. There's no 204 account in 1173. It's all 0203.
1173 and 1176.
Stop with
1176 has 0201, 0202, and 0204s. 1173 just has 0203 for the 2 and 300s.
And you've reduced it to 0 in the 0204.
Yeah.
I'm trying to prevent him from up to filling those with the 2025 because you got
Okay.
0 here.
I'm going with this number.
Don't go with that number here when she's asking for nothing. Those are all zeros.
You're reducing it $500,000.
I never had nothing in 0204 ever, so I don't know what that was.
Last year, for this year you did. For 2025 you did.
For 20,
We approved.
All right. I'll go with it, and if
But how come in there then it's showing expended 0 for 25?
That's a good point.
If
I
that was
think our
approved,
concern is just like
I don't
we're
have
approving a lower
$500,000.
budget for you.
Do you have no way to show me anything on your side? When you just plug the numbers in is all you did?
We don't plug in any
Look at our
numbers.
own numbers.
They hand it to you or that route, but they give it to you or you do
And then we put it into print format.
What's
and
the
then
number
what happens
you
is
have?
some of the sums aren't.
I have
1173, the bottom total number.
Well, because I got mine all added to with the 100 accounts.
Well, this has got the 100 account.
Oh, so my bottom total number is 7,368,073.
All right. So we stand with the original motion. All right. So that's $500,000 less than last year.
I don't know what that 204 account was.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
So the motion is to approve the 2s and 300s for 1173 as requested.
As requested.
Okay.
Motion. So, any further discussions regarding the motion? please, no.
Sooner.
All right.
All
right. All in favor of accepting the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Just a friendly.
You have as the motion.
Just a friendly reminder, because these are your numbers. If something's wrong,
Second by Novak.
if something's wrong by our first meeting, we can change something.
Second by Randy? Or?
This doesn't make, I mean, you're still 500,000 less, so I don't know how I redid it.
Actually, there has to be in the 100 accounts.
Just a friendly reminder, you got time to look at it.
You got a few minutes. Let me show you what I got.
I'll go
here.
home, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
We did the 1176.
No, we didn't do the 1176 yet. So,
Motion to, it's all 300 accounts. So,
no, there's a 200 under.
There's 200.
And there's some 100s.
wait, never mind.
No.
Motion to approve 1176, 2s and 3s.
Motion
presented.
Motion by Mr. Novak. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kessler. Just for clarity, based off the last count discussion, the amount we're showing here is an increase from last year of roughly $500,000 from the approved budget for last year to this year being 5.444.
That might be the 500.
That might be the 500,000 on the other side. Well, it's also a bunch of increases to 100, so. All right, so motion approved by 2s and 3s by Mr. Novak, second by Mr. Kessler. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank
Does
you.
have a capital plan attached.
I have a capital plan attached. They have my proposal for the salary increase should be attached. You should have everything.
All right.
One other topic is it's related to Highway Department and revenue. There's been some talk about a wheel tax as being required in order for us to maintain our community crossings eligibility.
Yes.
If that's approved, that's potentially a source of revenue that might be considered as part of this. What's your feelings on that?
Well, if we take a wheel, get it put in a wheel tax, then, and if that has to go to the highway, then I wouldn't need as much lit money to make up the difference.
So the revenue, if Michigan City's in the process of putting in a wheel tax and LaPorte City already has one, so the numbers that Carl had crunched earlier in the year was we'd bring in about $900,000 is what it would be. But then we'd also be eligible for the funding for the community crossing. So,
And I think that's dropping back down to $1 million instead of 1.5.
Yeah, so we also talked about the same thing, that if we pass it, it's a wash. The money that we're losing, we're not going to gain. So basically $1 million, $1 million. We're not, it's not.
Well, what it sounds like is if we're dropping from $1.5 million to $1 million, and it's approximately $1 million in with the wheel tax, we're taking $5 million from lit economic development. What we'd be doing is freeing up about $500,000.
And is it correct that if we do not have a wheel tax, that we will no longer be eligible for community crossings? A portion of it.
That's the theory that I'm being told.
Okay.
I've
I
heard
mean, I don't know if
50%.
that's all passed or anything.
it changed a little bit at the end.
I guess it might be a good idea to get clarity on that soon, because that could make a big difference in how we're allocating the lit revenue or other revenue sources later on. And that's not me saying we should or shouldn't do a wheel tax. That's just, we now have to explore it because there were changes in the statute.
If we're going to make movements and change how we're taxing structure or user fees, then we should be knowledgeable on what it is that we're doing it for, right?
Yeah.
You want to have Carl crunch number, or do you want to have Big Utility do it?
I think Big Utility's already
more
working.
familiar with it, I guess. They might have already done the work.
We need to add that to what they're doing.
Let's double check and see what they're doing. All right, and then figure it out from there. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, looking at the list and seeing, we're probably.
Assessor's sitting back there.
All right. Mr. Assessor.
What's the number?
109.
Yeah.
They were doing this.
Yep. For part of this.
share.
Yes.
Mr. Schultz,
Subtly showing off there, I see.
There's no visual aids allowed.
Mr. Schultz, did you get your donuts yet?
On the way out.
Okay.
Can we make sure the camera zooms in on this just to like?
All right. So, Mr. Assessor, if you wouldn't mind, why don't you talk about what you're proudly presenting up there?
I know you're not discussing 100, but you probably, if you want to take this for board members, to reduce that by 5,000. We're not meeting as often as,
You need to pull the microphone up to you so we can hear you a little bit.
So you're talking about the 2015 reassessment.
yeah, the 0815 board members.
We're starting at 109, aren't we?
We've got 18.6 in there, but you can reduce that by 5,000.
Any reason for that is?
We're not meeting as often.
Okay. Nobody's arguing.
Exactly right.
Okay.
So 18.1 is what that would be?
It'd be he said
13.6.
13.6, 5,000.
I thought you said 500.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
No, I wouldn't get back 500, but I'll give you 5,000.
That's why I asked.
So he asked for the mic?
Yeah.
All right.
Drop that.
Ms. Winsky, can I edit my budget now, or are you going to do that?
I'll do it.
Can you also tell today what's in our sales disclosure fund?
Well, why don't we,
As of today?
if you wouldn't mind, let's stick with what's going on with 2015 reassessment, then we'll jump to sales disclosure?
Well, I was trying to get a number, so when we get to there, we have a number.
He'll run the meeting.
Yes.
But we'll
please.
follow the
He's former
script.
councilman with there.
So there's a reduction in your postage?
Yes.
I'd love it.
So we have to send out notice of assessment every year, and we actually took the advice of the council to do the bulk rate. And after the initial setup and getting it all together, it turned out that it can save some money because we send out almost 50,000 forms between our office and Michigan Township. Hopefully, eventually we'll get digital, but we're not there quite yet, so we still have to mail them out. So yes, we've saved money throughout the years by changing to that.
Great.
Okay. Legal
Because
fees?
we also do that all in-house. We do that within the office. We don't vendor any of that out.
Okay. Reduction in legal fees has more to do with the PWBOA not meeting as often, as I'm assuming?
Not only that, but again, we don't need representation at IBTR because we don't have to take many appeals there. Nobody's filing lawsuits against the assessor's office. We've come a long way in 10 years, so.
Awesome. And maintenance contracts reduced by half.
Correct. We only have one machine in the office that actually, if it malfunctions, we use that fund for that.
Okay.
Michigan Township Education institutional training.
Correct.
What we did, so it's easier to keep track of what they spend and what we spend. We just gave them their own line item in the reassessment fund. So when they go to the assessor conferences or whatever, they take it out of their fund, the 5,000, where we have our own.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Mr. Kessler.
Second.
Second by Mr. Pressel. Further discussion or questions?
2s and 3s, it is.
2s and 3s. All right.
What do I do with that?
All in favor of approving 2s and 3s for 2015 reassessment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Now, sales
Mark
disclosure.
voted aye. Did you vote aye so I can write that down? Okay.
Heard right.
Just, can I,
Yes, you may.
I'm just looking. The GIS person, they're coming out of your budget this year. This current year.
Not any longer.
Current year.
No, not any longer.
His pay isn't, but we're supplementing his supplies or map stuff, whatever he needs.
we're taking those.
So where's his piece all out of the commissioners this year in 2025?
We paid maybe the first quarter.
If even.
When did that change? Who changed that?
When I said we weren't doing the GIS person anymore.
But don't we have to, just thinking,
Appropriate it into a fund?
oh, we're going to move that over
How
here?
do we pay him? How do we pay him? Everything else?
Well, that's the commissioners.
Can you get?
But that's why I believe it's still in your account, because we haven't moved it out of your
Your
account.
account's still going to go on to the end of this year. This is for next year's budget, so if you're just we understand it for next year's budget. But you're going to finish paying him to the end of the year.
That's what a group, I don't know.
GIS coordinator of $58,945 is coming out of the commissioner's budget 2025.
And we moved that at a meeting?
We must have done it last year.
But then you said that you were paying it out of your budget.
He's paying supplies.
We paid, but we gave him, I think, 2 payments, and then the commissioners took it over.
Where did those payments come from?
We have to ask the commissioners.
But it was being paid out of your department for 2 payments, you said.
I believe.
Okay, so originally, the GIS director was paid out of the assessor's budget.
When they hired me.
After the previous guy left, we didn't have one for over a year. When they hired the new one, I want to say it was maybe in February. Don't quote me on that exact date, but somewhere around early spring. Yes, that pay was coming out of our budget at that time.
And you had a line item for his salary?
Yes, we did. Do you want me to pull up a payroll slip and show you what that was? Because after we paid him for, I want to say we paid him twice. It came through on my payroll sheet that I get from payroll. Once the commissioners, I'm not sure what they did. I can't speak intelligently about what somebody else has done, but you can ask them. After I paid him twice, it came off of my payroll sheets and moved to, I'm assuming, their payroll sheets, because he no longer appears on my payroll sheets. Voila.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. And if it was paid out, it was probably paid out of part-time, because there is no line item for GIS, but I think the issue was he was working, he had to get paid, so before the commissioners could figure out what they were doing, we kept him paid for those 2 months till they got it.
Okay.
But the funds you're saying.
So what are you paying right now for supplies?
That's hard to say. Like I said, he's only been here for a few months, and I think I paid for him to go to a conference out of our budget, which I can tell you exactly what that is if you'd like to know.
No, just conference and whatever.
But so when he went to the conference earlier in the year,
That's why we have these meetings, so we know what's going on in the county.
oh, we also did purchase him a laptop. We paid for that out of our budget this year also. The conference was about $1,500. Laptop was a little less than $2,000.
Okay.
So maybe $3,500 for the whole year if I just got to wrap it up.
You guys do remember the confusion. We were supposed to hire him sooner, but we didn't interview for months and months and months. So.
Yep.
Okay, well, thanks for
All right. Anyway, so sales disclosure, 1131. Did you get your balance you were looking for? What I have in front of me through June 30th is $111,091. All right. So no change from last year. All 300 accounts. Any questions or concerns from the council?
Motion to approve.
Well, we're proposing to take some, what am I say? Some pressure off the general fund from Michigan Township. And which ones were we looking to put into the sales disclosure?
The 300's 002 and 009. It's our dues and postage. We were wanting to move those to the reassessment fund.
So you're looking for the 6,500 and the 1,500 that are currently in your 144 to move those to the sales disclosure fund instead of the Michigan. All right. So let's.
But you're putting the postage, we've reduced our postage $5,000.
Yep.
We paid all the postage this year. Michigan Townships, actually, their amount would have been about $5,600 for their portion of the postage. What we're wanting to do is actually put the postage in reassessment. They have their own line item, so next year they would pay their postage for their...
On the reassessment fees.
Or it's easier to be transferred.
Right, to transfer it, but put it in the reassessment fund and take some pressure off the general fund by taking it out of there.
Okay, so now we're going back to the reassessment fund and making an adjustment based off of what I have in front of me.
Right.
Do you want that reassessment or sales disclosure?
Reassessment for the postage.
So now, so that would take.
We have a line item for postage.
They don't.
To a different one?
No.
No, there's nothing here for postage.
No, that was a game day decision. I'm sorry, we just decided that.
The
way to keep it entertaining.
the shift to 2015 reassessment.
So now, 25,300. Is that right?
Essentially, yes, because we were giving back the 5,000. But what Mr. Schultz is asking is if we can have a separate line item for postage within the reassessment fund labeled like Michigan Township postage. Kind of like we have with training, we have our own and they have their own.
I think we can do that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, because we have, in the employee education, Michigan Township has their own line item and we have our own item.
Let me try to do that while we're talking.
So we can just, it's easier than when you ask, well, what'd you spend Michigan Township or, you know.
We like the, you know, call it the discrete knowing where money's going instead of, I don't know, other supplies. Anybody remember the conversation from yesterday? So, so let's look at sales disclosure for a minute. Is there any changes that you're asking for sales disclosure?
Yes, because then we also want to take the dues from Michigan Township and put them in here from the reassessment fund for the assessor's office and put that in sales disclosure.
All right. So
that would be increasing by 1,500.
Theirs is 1,500.
That's what they're.
Yeah, ours is 1,500.
I think ours is 1,800.
Yes.
You want to put them all in there?
He wants to put
Yes,
both.
but we'll put them as separate again.
So we shouldn't even touch 2015 yet.
No. Wait a minute, both what? I just thought that.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
can I make a
Ms. Winsky.
suggestion that we table this for now? Have them tell us everything that they want to do and then bring it back to you, because this is too many changes.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe it, yes.
Motion to table.
Motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
So, but I want it on the record because
It's on the record.
We've had
Hold on. I got motion to table. I can't have any further discussion at this point.
amongst yourself, you can.
Motions of table aren't supposed to
Well, what it does is at least gets it to where it forces the conversation between the auditor's office and the assessor to get the proposal in front of us straight.
They can
'Cause
work
I
it out
think-
and come back.
Yeah. Is it something that we could look at this afternoon? All right, then let's look at today, and we'll look at. All right.
Work it out.
All in favor to table?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. And we'll get it all straight.
Same thing
for
with
this
Michigan.
And along with
They're
Michigan
moving
Township.
stuff out of there.
Yeah, we'll be able
Stuff
to.
Michigan wants to move and.
Yep, perfect.
Thank you.
All right.
I know, you didn't vote on because you said you weren't doing the 100s, but has someone noted that that needs to be cut at 100 time?
We made notes
Yeah,
of what you
we
told
did.
us.
I mean, we approved the 2015 reassessment so far, right?
Yes.
And that was as far as we made it. To the 200s and 300s for that.
200s and 300s.
So that's still.
But I took note of the $5,000 reduction.
But the 2015 is going to have to be reopened.
Yeah, it'll have to be reopened.
He's wanting to take the 16 or 1,800 dues. And
As it relates to taking pressure off the general fund, shifting
Everything else is
expenses into 2015 reassessment is also levy controlled. So while it is lowering the balance in there, which is
'cause-
perhaps good as long as it's sustainable, like it's not actually changing anything for what's being used for levy revenue.
Discuss anything further with us, but these are the two that are changing. Supplies.
Yeah, that would be separate.
Everything is staying the same.
Let's go planning and zoning. Let's make that quick because we'd have to bring in GIS.
Are they here?
Yeah, he's in the back. Building commissioner.
I said GIS. I said it's GIS here.
No, GIS is not.
Could you go in the back? I'm looking back there.
Doing planning and zoning.
Planning and zoning. Okay.
No, we'll see you later.
Once they clean up their mess. You gonna bring your toys back?
You guys what? Yeah, you don't need to bring that back.
The humble assessor.
All right, so let's move on to planning and zoning. How far back are we? Early.
How far back are we?
No, in the book for planning and zoning.
Oh, it's up front. 1-3.
Morning, council.
Good morning.
You are tab 134 if you want to flip to it in the book.
That way you see what we're seeing.
What's the next one? Contract registration. Okay. So we look at plan commission. All that's 100s. Note that there's several adjustments to salaries there. Let's move on, since we're not talking so much about 100s. Does anybody have any questions before we move on to the contract registration?
Something there with the changes to salaries? Are these step increases or something more?
For the department head, there is 15,000 of the total salary is going to be funded out of the building department instead of out of MS4, and the rest of it is a 5% overall increase. That's what the numbers are that you're seeing there.
Okay.
Okay.
So the contractor restriction fees, Joey, it doesn't show, am I missing it? It's not showing up on our, did you see it on?
There should be two. You get the permit fees that are collected go into the general fund, and the contractor registration fees that are collected.
I'm just looking on our sheet
for
to see what a
Oh,
balance is.
I don't have that sheet, okay.
Do you know what the account number is?
For
2067?
Yeah, 2067.
2067 right here.
There it is.
206 240 and a penny. All right, so back to contractor registration fees. This is minus an attorney that they haven't needed. Everything's twos and threes. Indiana Association members.
That's IABO, and there's a couple of other memberships that we maintain.
Okay, we didn't. That wasn't budgeted at all last year.
The IABO memberships was not. Did we just take it out of some other account and fund it that way then?
Maybe.
It was funded in 24 though.
It was funded in 24, but not in 25.
Yeah, we renew every year. They do conferences, education, training. In fact, that's how we learned about the new code for engineered lumber, and we changed our permit applications to reflect that. Then we let 911 know when a house is constructed with engineered lumber, so that the first responders are aware of it. It was a code change. Those are the type of things that keep us up to date.
That list is up to date?
Yes.
They're putting tags on houses like they're supposed to?
The membership changed from
I see that
to a 200. That's why.
I see it. All right, and then the only other change I see is an increase in mobile phone usage. Mobile phone, tablet.
So we've updated our tablets as part of the software transition that I've been trying to get us through for the last 12 months. It's slowly taking shape. We're working out the wrinkles, as we go. But basically, I'm eliminating 2 older software programs and merging everything into one. That's why some of my hair is whiter than the last time you saw me. But when we get all the way through it, it's going to be way better. More efficient, less redundancies, more services offered online, more stuff to do on the tablets for the inspectors while they're on site in the driveways at the houses that they're visiting and so forth.
Have you been able to, does this software communicate with the health department?
Yes.
Regarding
Health department and MS4, yes.
So everything is, so when they pull up, they can tell if the septic permit's been issued and.
Not only that, it emails them and reminds them, hey, we have a permit application here. So it'll allow, say, the health department to sign in and review and approve or sign off. MS4, same thing, sends them an email, log in, sign in, approve.
One of the previous softwares didn't communicate with the.
No, and that's what the problem we have is the government is fragmented and lack of communication. So hopefully we're going to solve some of that by integrating these processes in the software.
All right, if there aren't any other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the 2s and 3s.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Pressel, second by Mr. Novak. Any further discussion? All in favor of approving 2s and 3s for contractor registration, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Note the one nay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Why the nay?
Oh, he
always
watched all day.
You understand about a budgeting process? How I can go through the whole conversation?
I'm just.
If you want, I can talk to all you want if you want.
All right. Anything else?
You want to discuss 100 accounts? You want to, anything you see in there that you have questions or anything that you guys want to?
We're running a little behind, but we're going to talk 100s at a future workshop. I'm sure across many of them we see questions, but we'll hold those over until we have where we're talking 100 specifically.
And you heard our conversation earlier in the meeting about like the implications of changing LTCs or COMETs for one department. They need to be changed for all the departments, right? Okay. So
Yeah, I'm aware of
Same
that.
sort of thing.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so now I think we're going to break into the schedule a little bit by reviewing, since Eric's here, our GIS general insurance discussion. Do we want, would you like to?
I'm just saying.
All right, let's take a 5-minute break to allow for.
4.5. Eric's here, the highest paid man in the room, so.
Right. All right. We'll go ahead and pause for Alco and.
Alcohol? Those are union benefits. Is that what he said?
Okay. Meeting whenever you're ready. All right.
Good job, Mr. President.
Mr. President, good job, IT.
Thank you. All right.
Those are the raise. Good thing we have you down to
Let's not start that discussion yet. All right. Mr. Gibson, thank you for coming in. Obviously, it was short notice, but I appreciate the fact that you're coming forward with some information on forecasts relating to insurance and potential changes and those sorts of things. So if you would, could you walk through the sheet in terms of the supporting information that explains these figures?
Yep, absolutely. So several months ago, first of all, thank you all for your help getting all of the quoting information together so we can go to market. We do partner with the nation's largest stop-loss wholesaler. So we did go and scour the market. These are the best options that they're able to bring you. If you guys look at your spreadsheet here, you'll see your current plan there on the left. The expected costs are roughly about $11.4 million. So you'll notice that the medical enrollment is down a little bit from last year, which from a budget perspective, that's actually going to hurt, or it's going to help you. That being said, we did normalize all of this to that 504 enrollment number. If you go to the next column over, that's the UMR APTA Berkeley. That is your guys' current program, just with the renewal. You'll notice that those increases are about 18.5%, pretty dramatic there. If you flip over to the next one, that is Anthem's initial offer. So let's skip over to that following column that says alternate one firm at the top of it. It's Anthem, and Carillon. It's essentially the exact same program that you guys have today. That being said, it would be moving all of the administrative and pharmacy situations to Anthem. You'll notice if you go down to that big blue bar at the bottom, 12.4 is roughly what the expected costs are going to be overall, and then about just over an 8% increase compared to current.
Okay. Any questions or concerns by the council?
So budgetary wise, if the county were to make the move, we need to make the move or else we're going to look at it at 18.5% increase for next year.
Correct. Total expected cost on the current plan, if you guys were to keep that, would roughly go up $2.1 million, which is pretty significant, especially compared to Anthem's increase would be just under $1 million. So you'll net about a little over $1 million.
Right. And then for clarity's sake, you have that fifth column where it talks about an ICHRA.
Yes.
And we discussed that to extent. Yes, that shows a reduction in expenses, but it's a vast reduction in services and coverage provided to the employees.
Absolutely. It is a very different program. I know we discussed it last year, that individual coverage health reimbursement arrangement. Last we had discussed, you guys weren't really interested in going down that path, but again, for purposes of today, I just wanted to make sure that we included that so you guys did know it was an option. Heaven forbid.
Absolutely. Nope. It's just one of those things for, making sure that everybody sees what we're looking at and understanding the fact that, yeah, it's a reduction in cost, but it is definitely something that is not beneficial to the employee whatsoever.
Yeah, it would be a, we'll call it disruptive.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it. All right. Any other questions?
I just want to call attention to the numbers that are provided here. There's an expected and then there's a maximum. So this is a range between those two numbers is what is likely to happen, right?
Correct.
So we actually should be anticipating to be able to spend up to 15 million potentially.
Yeah, potentially. Worst case scenario, that's where, that aggregate stop loss limit would kick in. So that's the max cost.
Current enrollment's at 504. What has the average been over the last 5 or 6 years? Is this consistent with that or is it?
Yeah, so we're ticking down slowly. Last year was about 520. Forgive me, I can't recall the prior years, but we're slowly ticking down. So from a budget perspective, again, that's helpful.
Anything else you want to call attention to for us?
Yeah, so the clinic is another point of discussion, especially from a budget perspective. We've been evaluating some other options currently with North Shore. We're currently working with Guy and council to, terminate that contract, but also find another local provider that's going to provide better service for a decreased rate. So we've got some good options. We're just still working through it.
It's been a topic of conversation a lot during some of our meetings about whether or not we're losing money with North Shore. Is it costing us money in net? Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. So from a drug perspective, there is some pretty big savings alongside with having the North Shore contract. It's really two things. So the drug costs and the savings that you guys are getting from that is a tremendous benefit. These service issues and just other general issues that have gone along with North Shore have been a huge detriment, which is the reason for the termination of the contract. So it's tough to execute that drug program with the service issues that you guys are having.
So to simplify it, we are saving money by having it as it stands today.
Yeah.
Because of the drug policy.
As a whole. As a whole, we're saving money still?
So, yes, simply because those drugs that you guys are currently getting through 340B would have been sourced through the plan. The reason why we're doing it through the 340B program is because we're getting it cheaper than it would be if it were going through the plan.
And for context, the 340B program is a federally subsidized program?
Correct.
So that's why we're benefiting from it?
Correct.
So I'm hearing that we're not getting the coverage from the staffing of the clinics that would allow us to get the 340B prescription program. But we're still saving money using the 340B because...
On the drugs that we are currently able to get through the 340B, there is savings alongside of that.
Okay.
But there are other... we'll call them, the service issues that they're having.
No, for sure. It's just more along the lines of, so we're able to transfer those prescriptions from other providers to the North Shore Clinic in order to receive those drugs?
So no, that's part of the reason for the service issue.
All right. So I'm guessing that the only reason that we're actually able to maintain the use of those 340B plans is existing prescriptions of when there's been coverage in order to issue the prescription from North Shore.
Correct.
All right.
The North Shore has to be the prescriber of the prescription drugs.
And I'm guessing there's also a pretty heavy incentive for people with very expensive drugs to go through the hassle of dealing with North Shore right now. If you were getting cheap antibiotics, maybe you just go to CVS or Walgreens and you don't care and you just use your insurance. But if you're taking a very expensive drug, it's free for you potentially with this program.
But they don't
that's
do all
worth it.
drugs.
Yeah, not
So
all
they don't
drugs.
do all drugs.
But if you had one that was covered and it was expensive, you'd have a pretty good financial incentive to go through the work.
Absolutely.
But just for the clarification,
that you said it's free.
the clinic's not
it's not
free.
No, not the
So
clinic, the drugs.
taxpayers are paying. I mean, nothing is ever free.
Sure, yeah, of course.
Okay, just so you know that.
The point is it's free to our employees, which is the service we're providing with health insurance.
But the county is, at the end of the year, we're not saving money by having the clinic. I mean, we're saving money by the prescriptions, but overall, there's a cost for the clinic. And that's what, with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's two different things. There's a cost to the clinic, but the cost is offset by the savings from the drugs, correct?
That's the intent of the 340B program.
Yes.
The intent.
So the whole picture is that there is a net savings to the county by offering this, and there's definitely a savings to the county's employees by offering it.
Yeah, historically that's been the case.
But we just got to make sure that it's staffed so that our employees can go there. 'cause
Yeah, the
not
big service issues are folks actually going to the clinic and there's just no one there. So it's not exactly a.
And they've made some changes on their own, I guess. These are their changes, not.
Correct.
Yeah.
Have we spoken with a representative from North Shore? Because it just strikes me as an odd way to run a business, like to start up a clinic in Michigan City and then shut it down, and to not staff one in LaPorte.
We have had ongoing conversations with them for several years, and yeah, they
know
don't
what
have
they're doing,
they don't have a
or
good
like
answer.
not to be rude, but like what's the goal here?
Yeah, they don't give us a straight answer.
Oh.
They don't even notify you when they close something.
Correct.
Right
yeah.
up ahead. Right.
Correct.
So,
All right.
Yeah. So.
Anything else? Anyone? With that, I see. What? Mr. Yagelski, is there something productive? All right.
Ooh.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate your time.
Of course, likewise.
With that, we'll move on to building maintenance. We're almost on time.
Feels like we're way behind.
No.
The budget for group health insurance. Oh, this is my request. This is what was requested by White. It's a little bit big.
Yeah. We're going.
Is there an entire ledger?
Yes, so.
42.
That's a good one.
All right. Good morning.
Morning.
All right, let's start with the 2s and 3s.
Yes, thank you.
All right, I see a pretty substantial reduction in janitorial supplies. What's going on here?
I'm sorry, say it again.
All right, so last year you came to us for 99,400. We bumped it up to 132,000, and now the request for this year is back to 99,400. And it looks like your usage is on track for 99,400.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we also, because we had less people, we have that, so we, sorry, thank you. We have less people, so we have unfortunately had to contract some jobs out during the transition, but as you know, we're almost up to full employment. We have 4 more interviews to do yet, and that'll take care of our positions that are filled. So that's why when the board met, we thought that we could stay in that same wage as last year's.
Okay. In this case, this was just supplies, though.
But I meant even for all the stuff, yeah, but just for everything in general.
Okay.
As we contract out, we reason other people bring stuff in, so we're gonna maintain that.
Good.
So supplies is going down 32.6, and services is going up 32.6 for janitorial.
Yes.
Hell,
Yeah, go to the last line. went up from 10,000 to 42,600.
So this is essentially a wash. We're spending less on the supplies and more on services that we're contracting out.
So this was all changed prior to me.
Okay.
And I do know that there was money taken from janitorial and put somewhere else. I can honestly say I'm not sure why the things were changed the way they were.
If you remember last year, I hate to do this, but we had them go out and just kind of redo it all. There were still a lot of mistakes when we went through it, a lot of mistakes, and that's why the person no longer is here, but I can't explain any better than that.
Understood.
So we if the numbers weren't jiving from what last year was, it's just because they were just numbers.
Got it. So what do you have right now for contracted housekeeping or janitorial? Number of people, number of...
Are you talking like full-time?
Well, no, for your, in this case, is a contracted service, right? So it's going to be outside.
Like our mats and stuff.
Say that again?
Our mats, Wild Man.
We've got Wild Man that comes and replaces our mats on repetitive. We got, well, Hatfield, we do pest control. So basically for janitorial, Wild Man is the one contract that we have.
And that's all floor mats?
That's all floor mats. We also get our hand soap through them. They supply the dispensers for free, but anything used for those,
Okay.
you get.
It's just making it hard.
Okay. And everything from Wildman, even though this is a services, you're also getting supplies from them as well?
Yes. Not a lot, but yes. We do get our hand soap mostly from them and our air fresheners from them.
Okay.
So at a quick glance right now, I asked the auditor's office to run your guys' current ledger. So it looks like as of right now, you've spent roughly half of the money that was in your janitorial supplies, but yet you're expecting to have less expenses for janitorial supplies in 2026.
We're not sure exactly what we're going to spend in 2026. Right now, we're fluctuating. I have went down from 5 or 6 vendors to 3 for our janitorial supplies. I have gotten a hold of the people that run them. They have brought prices down for me, so that's what I have been working on.
And in the past, our past director actually had us so far out on people that we were getting supplies. They were coming from everywhere, not comparing prices. So Michelle has been working on getting everything combined to where we can get back to where we had been in the past.
Okay, so you're expecting less expenses in supplies, and then an increase in services. But to date, you've not spent anything out of services. So what are you expecting you're going to be spending out of services?
Is that one that's doubled up?
That would be one, yeah.
Janitorial services being a 300s account and janitorial supplies being a 200s account. So is your intent to subcontract this out? Is that why you're boosting that, or?
No.
It's by the description, and Ms. Davis, don't let me put words in your mouth here, but it sounds like what we've got is we've got both the services and the supplies kind of jumbled together to the predominant costs there, which would be the floor mats versus the soap dispensers in the 300 account. It might be more appropriate and discreet to split that if it was an 80-20 or if it was a 90-10, right, to where you take that 32,600 and take 90% of that and put that in janitorial services, and then that whatever remaining 10% of that is, and put that to supplies would be more appropriate and discreet. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Do you know the rough, and I'm going to say rough, right? 90-10, 80-20, 75-25, what the breakout is between what's truly a supply and then what's a service?
If you want, I can find out exact numbers, but I think we spend more on supplies than we do on mats and hand
absolutely.
soap.
Okay.
80-20.
Because we supply like laundry soap and everything for the jail, for all the buildings.
All coming out of Wildman. So
No, it's not coming out of Wild Man, it's coming out of janitorial.
it's coming out of janitorial.
Supplies.
I got you.
Different vendor for those supplies.
So speaking to the one vendor that's providing a supply and a service, did they give you 2 line items on invoice to where you can split that out appropriately in the auditor's office in terms of where the spend is allocated?
Yes.
Yeah, they itemize it line by line, so when I do pay, if it needs separated out of accounts, I do that through the auditors.
Okay.
So where did that come from before? So I don't see anything for 24 for janitorial services.
Where did what come from before?
Like paying for the floor mats to get done. Was that just done in house or?
keep in mind, there's been 2 changes.
I can't
since
answer that.
And yeah.
Okay.
No, what account it came out of.
Oh.
And I can't answer that, honestly. And I do know that change was made between the last two, and I'm not exactly sure why it was made.
So on this, on this issues, let's just use a couple of them, like repairs to air handlers. It's 20032, and then on the second page, and by the way, you zero that out, then you put it over on 3029 on the second page.
That's.
Did you had an employee that did repairs to HVAC work before, right?
Correct.
And so before you would have just been buying supplies for him to go make the repairs himself, right?
Correct.
And now you're going to probably subcontract that out to someone unless you're able to find someone to do it in-house. So it went from being a supplies item to being a services item, and that's probably the change that you're asking about.
Yep. So you use that example, and then you have trash removal, 20034, and then trash removal 30295. Did you just try to get new numbers? Is that what you try to get new accounts, or you have an idea? Or
The main account that I pay out of for the trash is the 100 account. I do know last year there was another line item she had came to get more money for it. So as far as what I pay, I just pay it out of the main.
Mr. Otter, you see a couple of those line items I'm talking about? Was there just something that was just submitted that way and that's it?
It was submitted that way.
Fine. Okay.
It was submitted that way.
Okay. It is kind of confusing because you have them on 2 lines here, so thank you. Maybe you want to work with the auditor and see if we can clean this up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's showing us some of these that are blank for, and you have the book in front of you as well, like trash service, even though it's not being requested this year, it was in a previous year, so it's probably giving us the context of how it switched so we can see where it went.
Can we?
May I say something?
Hold on.
When we go from the 200s to the 300 counts, 200s are typically supplies, so some of these should not have been under supplies.
Okay.
So that's why they were moved to the 300s. So that change was made, and that's why you're seeing some zeros.
Okay, then.
Okay.
That
So that hopefully will help.
That's what I asked. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
but yes, they were doing the input, but that's the theory behind it.
Okay.
That sounds right. With the commissioners.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. President, I know that we're not talking about the 100 accounts, but we know you have some information you would like to share on a 100 account.
As far as the HVAC position?
Yeah.
I would be willing to give that up. We've been 4 months, I believe, since it's been advertised, and we had no applications.
Do you want to convert that to a regular maintenance person or just give it up totally?
I would give it up totally.
All right, so in doing so, with using a contractor for HVAC services and utilizing our internal maintenance for things that would be more appropriate, like the filter changes, the building checks, those sorts of things, is our costs going to be up or down?
With contracting it out, it most likely would be up. I don't have any information on what that would be at this point.
So one of the things that this non-committee is working on is the fact that Mr. Pressel came up with a scope of work for doing the preventive maintenance and everything on the HVAC system. And that's something that this group is going to send to the commissioners for the commissioners to go out for requests for proposals to have it, whether it's an outside vendor.
Yeah, so it'll go completely to an outside vendor.
To
So
give
it'll
us
take HVAC, boilers, all of our systems that we're currently doing in-house.
So somebody's going through
that scope away from
everything,
us.
and we're also in the process of trying to get a group together to inventory everything so that we
Correct.
know what we're talking about. But we don't know what that cost is until
Yeah, it hasn't gone out for
commissioners-
bids yet,
Right.
so we
So
have
that's
no
the
clue
next
where we're
step
gonna
in
come
that
cost.
group. So
Okay.
I can tell you in the long run, it'll save money overall,
Right.
doing it that way.
But obviously, somebody doing the preventive maintenance should save us a lot of money.
You're going to that meeting on that one, but you're also going to go to the meeting with the elevators also at the same time.
Correct.
Correct.
So we can bid that out.
All right. Okay. Separate from all this, because it looks like what we're going to need to do is probably have you meet with the auditors over lunch to try to break out some of that 200 versus 300 and come back to us after lunch to where we can have proper figures there. But one thing I want to talk about is electric for a moment. So year-to-date, through all everything expended, about 87% of that is actually for electric utility.
Correct.
The remainder is going to contractors for other building repairs and things like that. I see you're asking for up from basically 1.1 to 1.3 for electric. And I know this has been a sticking point for myself personally in previous years. No disrespect to you, and you weren't in a position in either of those cases. This is one that we're going to look hard at, and I'd recommend that we maintain the 1.1 for that.
Is that, what's the increase that NIPSCO just got? 16%.
So 1.
I'm just saying.
No, I understand. So for 1.1.
You subtract what you're talking about.
What I took is I took that 87% rate, I leveled it across the 1.1, and then I increased that, and then I added 15%, because not all of our electric comes from NIPSCO. We also have I&M that covers Michigan City. So at 15%, it comes 0.10.
I&M covers Rolling Prairie.
And Rolling Prairie as well. So
Michigan
City's on.
all right. So either way, right? So 1.1 million times 87%, then multiplied by 1.15% comes at $1,004,000. So that's where I was saying we stick at the 1.1.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure with the increase, I knew there was an increase coming. So, yeah.
This is also by separating out work that's not actually like electric utility bills.
Correct.
Moving that into a different category that's more suitable for it allows us to better monitor what's happening with electric usage in our buildings. What is NIPSCO doing? How is that impacting our total costs?
And also where our building repairs need to be in the total cost.
Exactly.
Correct.
And it also perhaps gives us an opportunity to look at where we might be able to achieve efficiencies in energy usage too, because it will draw more attention to it.
Correct.
All right.
Also, one more thing.
Yes.
We also in the past had pigeonholed people in departments that should not have been that way. Out of sight, out of mind, I have to say. The new people coming in, they're gonna be qualified to do some drywalling, some electric work, stuff like that. So it's.
I am going through and ended up with not.
They're not paying attention.
Never mind.
Pretty close.
Never mind.
Probably gonna use it. I mean, that's through 880.
Yeah.
So it should probably gonna be about right on. So I don't think you're gonna have a lot of.
Okay.
Are we good?
I think one other that would recommend looking at is the water sewage.
You got a question?
Because I know the Zircan, am I pronouncing it?
Zincan.
Zincan is appropriate for that because that's a lot of your softener chemicals and things like that, if I'm understanding correctly. And then Johnson's, that makes a lot of sense to me. But plumbing repairs, things like that, if we've got just for H&G or whomever coming in here and doing work with this regarding plumbing, that belongs more in a major repair, building repair, that sort of thing.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have any recommendations required?
He's got a question.
Go for it.
One more thing. So I'm looking again at the ledger by location, and it looks like for your repairs to buildings, there's maybe $16,000 that's left in that fund.
Yes.
For this year, for 2025. Yes. And I'm wondering, how is it that you plan to be able to continue repairs for buildings with such a small amount of money left?
We're going to have to ask to come for money.
Yeah. So how do we make sure that there is an adequate amount of money in your budget to cover the things that you actually need to repair in a year? And have you prepared a capital projects plan for the work that you're anticipating is going to need to be done in the future?
No. We have project left and right, and you're more than willing to walk around with us and see, but we were left with a mess. So we're trying to start with a new budget to see where we end up next year with it. I can't give a whole lot of answers right now with what we were left with. We were left with a big mess.
This isn't
and there's
per budget.
Yeah, and this isn't necessarily a criticism directed at you, so please don't take offense to it.
But I'm just saying, yes, we're down. We're way down on money.
While you guys were talking, I was trying to come up with this. We had pigeonholed people in the past. They didn't get along with anybody, so we sent one over to, one department, one other department. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, they didn't get a lot done. Everybody's getting hired right now. It's not pigeonholed. They're going to start doing drywall repair, electrical repair, not rewriting the whole complex, but do a lot of this maintenance work. So she has no idea, because that's what she's converting back to what you originally had years ago. We need a wall put up. They're going to put the wall up, and they're going to take care of, put some light switches on, and do that little bit of work that we normally was contracted out. Your guess is as good as us. We need to develop it and keep this going that way, and get our employees more involved in doing the work that we didn't do in the past.
Essentially, you're talking about a progression back to where we were.
Yes.
Yeah, the auditor's office had asked departments, and admittedly yours is one of the most complicated in this regard, but has asked departments to put together requests for capital projects that they're expecting in the next couple of years. By having those together, we're able to see where you expect to be spending money, and then that gives us the reassurance that when we're loading large sums of money into your budget, that we know it's going to get spent towards addressing those issues. So the sooner you're able to put together some sort of plan of the work that you think needs to be done, the sooner we can then figure out how we're going to fund it. And your department is particularly important because a lot of very large expenses end up flowing through building maintenance, and we're dealing with a budget where there's a lot of uncertainty. So.
And we maintain
Question marks
23
the better.
buildings. We have 23 buildings for our department to maintain.
That's a lot.
Motion to table till after lunch.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to table. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. We'll see you after lunch sometime.
You go.
Who's next in line? We have Board of Commissioners.
7 minutes behind.
I was 5 when we started with this.
Don't want to put any pressure.
Not a train.
Don't want to put any pressure on.
That's right. 143, right after building. Good morning.
Good morning.
So as I quickly scroll through all this, it looks like we're flat from the request for 2025. Anything to speak towards from any of you?
Some of the things that I've noticed here in just 7 months, we spend an awful lot of postage for other departments. We also spend postage, myself personally, other people that work in these buildings. We get them at home.
Is your mic
Why not
on?
just have them?
Yeah. No, you're not.
It's green. Says green.
Now we can hear you.
Why don't we split this postage up to where it belongs to departments and make it a little bit easier on everybody? Because right now our staff, Diane, she's works her fingers to the bone, and she has to stop working in our department when the clerk's office comes over with a bunch of mailing because she expected to be watched by the clerk. I think that's just something you should look at, maybe separating out.
Okay, you know what we're going to do so. I know that increases the costs and overall contracts related to the Pitney Bowes machine and those sorts of things, and that's part of why it's been the way it is so far. And I know Mr. Yagelski has a passion point around this, so I'll turn it to him.
So simple matter is, you and I have already talked about it. If you guys want to change it over to another department, go ahead. We already hooked up to it if we want to take it down the hallway. But we've talked to commissioners.
Right.
They don't want to do it. So I don't know if you guys are all talking together. But
Yeah, the problem is we pay $1,898 quarterly. And that's for the rental of both here, the machine that we have here, and the one that we have in Michigan City. I don't think it's so much that
Maybe not.
we increased our budget from 95 to 120 this year. And this is a non-election year. We pay for the taxes that get mailed out. This year in particular, $31,450 was used up to mail out the tax bills. We had departments putting inserts inside that mailing without the permission of the commissioners. And if we have departments who are going to be adding in inserts, they should be coming to the commissioners asking for that, and then they should be contributing toward that mailing. So that's one issue that we can have that we could probably fix.
Ms. Grammarosa, do inserts into the mailers increase the cost?
If you are going to be mailing
Do they increase the
something from your department, then you should mail it from your department. You shouldn't put it inside of someone else's mailers.
Did it increase the cost, though?
Again, if you are putting
Inserts, no.
inserts in somebody else's mail, can I mail my gas bill with your gas bill?
No. The point is that if another
then
elected
why is it
official is
okay
sending
to do it on
information
government?
to voters, or not to voters, to taxpayers, and it doesn't cost any additional money, why would you want them to split it down into a separate mailer, which absolutely would
Because
cost
then
more money?
this way they can contribute towards the mailing. Why is it unheard of that every department would kick in and pay for a mailer? If we're going to have different departments sending out a mailer, why shouldn't every department kick in for that mailer?
Because at the end of the day, it's
we went from
Personally, I think that rather than send out two different mailings, which would double the cost of the postage, if one department's able to put in an insert into another mailer and it doesn't increase the cost of the postage, that's saving the taxpayers a tremendous amount of money as opposed to sending out a separate entire mailer.
that we need to open that up to every department. Every single department should be able to send out mailers inside the tax bills.
If there's information pertinent to the public, that would be a great idea. Save a bunch of money and get a lot of good
So
information in
instead
the
of
hands of the
sneaking
citizens.
it through, like we did this year, then we should open the mail, we should open up that ability to every single department, and anyone who has a mailing, we should be able to put that in there.
So, if I recall correctly, I'm going to lean towards Mr. Yagelski and Mr. Novak, who's been here the longest, including Mr. Mullenhour. We've consolidated all into one department in order to minimize the costs overall in terms of administering postage. We've kept it two machines at two general complexes, right? In LaPorte, Michigan City, in order to keep the costs down. It's put under the Board of Commissioners in an effort to keep it countywide. Policed appropriately. Now, as I understand it, the increase of one sheet to a mailer, as long as it's under a certain number of sheets or a certain weight, that is at a minimum cost. And that once you exceed a certain threshold, then it starts calculating more by weight. But I'm not an expert.
And if
That's
it's
my
opened
understanding.
up to all the departments and every department decides to send something, would that increase?
If we were to take it from a two-sheet mailing in a number 10 envelope to a legal-size envelope that's got 10 sheets in it, absolutely it's going to raise the cost.
So
But at
should
this
that not
point,
be
I
open
think
to everybody?
it leaves it open to everybody. But in this particular case, we were talking about property taxes and liens on, basically looking at fraud leading to liens to property owners was what the intended mailer was. I don't appreciate the fact that we're coming here and politicizing something that was amended.
I did not bring up what department it was.
I know.
You did. You did.
That's
So again, all I'm saying is if we're going to open this up to one department or two departments, then every single department head, if they have information that they'd like to get out to the public, we should be able to have every department have an option to put it in the tax bill and mail it out. That's all I'm saying.
That's a decision you guys can make.
My comment had nothing to do with that. Otherwise, I see things that are going through there. I have to question, do they really have to be postage stamped? I mean, when I see something get delivered to my house and she could have easily handed it to me, there were things like that. And some of the mailers I question, do we have to mail out everything to everybody? That's just something like, postage is getting up. It went up another 5 cents the other day. Our envelope cost went up again. This is just something that I think needs to be addressed, and we need to seriously consider. Do we have to have everything mailed to people who actually work within the county? Could it be hand delivered? That's one saving. I think there'll be tremendous savings there.
all right. That's fine. All right, Mr. Yagelski, you asked for something?
No.
All right. Anybody else? Anything else on postage?
So know that we're right now currently, we spend anywhere between 6,000 to 7,000 monthly. We currently have 38,700 in our account. And so if we continue at this rate with the increase from 69 cents to 74 cents per smaller envelope, and then the larger ones are $9.64 to $10.44, we may be coming back for more postage, and this is a non-election. So
Understood.
prepare for next year. With an election year, it's going to be a lot larger. So we are going to need to increase the budget for 2026, or we're going to have to come to you guys for more money.
Okay.
And as I've spoke before at different meetings, travel expenses, they're still through the wall, as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to be down there in January again this year, and I'm going to speak with the State House. Hopefully, we can get more and more of these put online to where you don't have to travel. I've turned down a couple already that I could go for the AIC. I don't see no sense to us to go. So I think that's something we need to seriously look at, too, in the future.
We talked earlier this morning about a GIS coordinator and where it's supposed to be in the budget. Can we reopen that conversation?
Absolutely. So we have GIS coordinator currently under the Board of Commissioners. Looks like by what we see in front of us here, it was budgeted there last year, and is requested to continue to be budgeted out of the commissioners. Is there any cause for concern there? Because it sounds like it was we do know it was previously under the assessor, it's moved under the commissioners, but the assessor is paying for operational costs in some areas. Is there any concern why we have it here?
The original, when we got a GIS coordinator, was through the commissioners. Then we had an issue with an individual that was our GIS coordinator with the commissioner. We separated him to separate the issues to go away. But we truly believe that this should be under the commissioner's budget. I was also a GIS on a board, GIS board member that believe that it belongs to under coordination of our commissioners. Mike did it for a favor for us because actually it was Mrs. Winsky that took over for us originally to help make that go away. We went from a lead coordinator to just a person in the real estate. So that was Mike's position for the longest time. Once he left, we thought that we need to get this where we originally had it. Other departments all paid into this. So whoever used it, they paid proportionally into it. There should be a wash between all the other units to pay, because he does numerous amounts for every one of them.
Yeah.
So honestly, like currently when we hired our GSI person this time, we had received a grant from 911. So for the first probably 6 months, and even currently, he's still doing little odd jobs because that was funded through a grant. The intention was not for him to work for 911 solely. Voter registration needs him for maps. The assessor's office needs him for maps. We need him in the commissioner's office when we have roads that we have to either get into inventory or out of inventory. Other departments that would be using him, there's quite a few. Probation needs to map where their participants are, and that would have to go onto a map. Sheriff's office.
It goes on health department. It goes. There's at least 15 departments that would help pay for it.
So the intention is right now, currently, we were given the $58,000. What the hope was that now, once he finishes that 911 project, that he would start working with all the different departments, and the departments that can contribute money to it, hopefully they will start contributing to that, and then we can pull some of that money away as other departments contribute to the salary. And then that would go back into the general fund.
On that note, I've just an outsider looking in all of a sudden to it now. There's a lot of things in our budget come out that other departments have discretion to spend without going through us, and I think that's wrong. I think that should be something, like you said, if there's 4 departments out of a line item, those 4 departments should contribute to that instead of just taking it all out of our budget, because
That money
that puts a
came out of
strain
their
on us.
accounts and went into your account.
Yeah, you sure? Okay.
At one point. So
Okay.
that's
Just want to make sure that happened there.
that's
Okay.
same thing with the postage.
That's the
The
goal.
postage
Okay.
came out of their accounts and went into your
Okay.
account.
Because we're always running short on these, and we have to come back for additional appropriations.
Our goal is to get it back to where we're at. So
Okay.
that was the goal. We're not there yet.
Okay.
So I hope I answered the initial question. We still believe that it should go under the commissioners unless you have a different approach.
I don't. I was just more along the lines of, to Mr. Keel's request,
Yeah,
reopen it for just
we
general
talked about it
discussion,
more.
just because it was brought up during the assessor session.
So I guess if we're going to finish up the first part of the conversation, I know the commissioners have brought it up. do we feel that every department, not and skipping the insert, we're just talking about tax bills, or are we in a fair share amount of them, the groups that are paying into that? Because it has gone up. Maybe we have to really reconsider it. I understand that point of the conversation.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not sure the benefit, other than adding more complexity to moving money around, for having certain departments pay for the postage, particularly when their funds are coming from the general fund. So like the treasurer, for example, with the tax bills, the treasurer's being funded out of the general fund, you're being funded out of the general fund. So we're just moving from one account in the general to the other account in the general, and it doesn't do much.
That point, but the point I was looking at is that if the person's using first-class mail, and you guys have seen it, maybe they could use something less. It would put more responsibility on it, just like what the Mr. Schultz was able to do, save the
bulk rate.
Yeah,
that's all I'm mentioning. I'm not mentioning the fact that
Tax bills would be.
yeah,
What tax bills could be a bulk rate?
Yeah.
so. That's the only difference of what I'm mentioning to you.
Okay.
So there is one thing, like on some of the line items in some of the departments, they do have like a small stipend of a mail line where they get one line item in their budget. It might be 500 or 1,000. Is it necessary for them to have that if they're permitting through us?
Yes,
And
because
that's one of the things that we
it's
never.
legal forms, and when we have it, it's specific legal stuff they send out for that department, and that's what we allowed them to
So
have.
they're doing that by stamps.
Yes.
Okay.
And in some cases, they may have their own source of revenue. Like if this was like something for the courts and it was being paid for with like court fees, maybe it makes sense to actually have it separate then.
But again, we get all their mail. So all the courts, whatever they're mailing out, that's definitely going through all of us.
Something we talked about before, but is the courts, because a lot of those postage fees, when they have to send something out certified, don't they add that on to the court cost and that gets reimbursed?
But again,
Some
where
of
is
them?
it being reimbursed
my-
to? It doesn't get reimbursed
fund,
to our postage fund. Sure, come on in, jump on in here.
So just real quick, I know like the health department, they have their own little postage machine because it may be paid out of state funds versus.
It was.
Same thing with the prosecutors, they may pay it out of deferral. The clerk's office does have fees that, that are tacked on that could contribute, but again, I don't know if that money goes into the general or not.
Probably.
I know.
I do know back, because we had questioned this in '23 when we had, so actually the assessor's office had like X amount of dollars and then they were putting it in a general fund, but there's no way of the commissioners knowing that it's being credited back. And so if it gets credited back into the general fund, but we're using up the fund, it's very difficult because when, like, just say hypothetically last year when we were budgeted for the $95,000, we had to come back for postage, and I don't remember exactly what the dollar amount was, but it was well over $10,000, and that's why we settled for the 120. If a department is giving back or paying the auditor's office for that dollar amount, because they have it in their budget, whether it's coming out of one of the discretion funds, is there a way where the commissioners would know so that when we're tapping back into the when we come back to you and we're asking for extra postage, we're not actually asking for extra postage. What we're asking for is reimbursement from another department, kicking it back to the general fund. And it doesn't look like commissioners are overspending on mail, because I'm going to tell you, we get a lot of questions and people are coming to the office and saying, why are you guys not living within your budget? And, when you look at our lawyer fees are not just our lawyer fees. We're paying for every single committee that meets, whether it's BZA, whether it's Plan Commission, all their lawyer fees come through our funds. We pay for FMEC. We pay for, can you think of some of the ones off the top?
Plan Commission, all those.
What?
FMEC pays their own.
Yeah, they have an attorney, it goes through us.
The regular attorney fees go through.
FMEC pays for.
I've signed bills for
they go
Mr.
through-
BG from FMEC.
Yeah, we get bills from
All goes through the
FMEC.
FMEC. Yeah, FMEC goes through the commissioners most,
We've
yeah.
talked about this many times.
Okay.
But we've all three of us we're telling you right now, all three of us have signed bills from
I
FMEC.
understand. All right.
Can I interject?
Yes, please, Ms. Winsky.
Okay, so for first of all, for legal fees, all legal fees do go through the commissioners. Now let's jump to postage. When, let's say, the assessor sends out his reassessment notices, he writes a check and it goes into the general fund. But after you guys approve this budget, nothing goes back into that budget unless it's an additional appropriation. That's why you always vote on that. So if the assessor gives the check, it goes into the unappropriated general fund. There are two different ones, appropriated and unappropriated. He may give them the money and it can be used two different ways. It can be either put on the Pitney Bowes, Diane can send the bill out to Pitney Bowes and pay it with the check that the assessors give her, or we just have to come back to you for an additional appropriation.
Right, but it doesn't automatically, when Mr. Schultz gives money.
It doesn't automatically go into, it can't.
Correct.
Right.
By state law, it cannot. So I just want you to understand that. They may be, giving them money, but they're not going to see it in their budget unless you additionally appropriate it. So, and I know that postage costs have increased, and it really is a pain in the neck because when I was treasurer and that machine was in our office, we had people in there, and this is the problem. You have so many people using that machine, someone has to monitor it because it breaks down quite a bit. So you can't just have it sitting in like one room. We tried that in Michigan City, and it's a mess over there.
Nobody owns it at that point, and then nobody takes
Yep.
responsibility to get the service in. It's just like any kind of copier. It's
Yep.
general purpose, right? It's those sorts of things.
Like 10 envelopes, they misprinted them. They put in $30. It was supposed to be 9 something. And so 10 envelopes ran through for $30. We tried getting a hold of the company, said, we can send you the envelopes. We're not going to mail them out. We want we want the money back. Nope.
Nobody cares. But I guess more along the lines of to what Ms. Winsky was talking about, is more along the lines of it breaks down. There's an issue, now it's not runnable. And it's in a closet somewhere, general purpose room, copy room, whatever. People walk away, nobody calls Pitney Bowes, nobody gets it serviced, somebody else comes to use it, oh, it's broken, somebody must have called, they walked away, nothing gets maintained. And that's kind of why it comes down to under the oversight of an individual, right?
And so it usually works really well when we have most of the departments who we have a box out there, and then all the departments will drop their mail in there. We have one department who will not do that, and they want their employee to stand there overseeing Diane doing her job. And that's a little bit of insanity.
You're right, and I understand the message that comes across there, and without having the code in front of me, it comes down to whether or not, how intense the legality is of the mailing and maintaining chain of custody or whatever was going on there. It seems like the most rigid rule is being applied to every piece of mail in order to do so. If could be some flexibility applied based off of the nature of the mailing itself, that would be a lot easier in terms of the employee engagement and personalities involved.
Let's facilitate that.
Yeah.
Not to point fingers, but there's been problems where people paid for certified mail and it was not in a certified envelope without the tag. So maybe possibly some training for the people who do mail, and then every office have a designated person for the mailing, and that might make things easier. That way our staff's not having to stop work for another department for staff to watch.
Understood. That's a good point. Thank you.
Very briefly, so we don't spend too much time on just postage, since it's only $120,000 out of a $17.5 million budget for the commissioners. But Darlene, is there a way to break out or track in the Pitney Bowes machine which departments are doing it? Like sometimes printers, copiers, you can go up and put in your code and it tracks it then? No?
They're very relatively
We don't
simple.
have a code. It's not like we put in a code, because I know how to work the machine. You don't put in a code and then you're going to say, well, I'm going to run, this department right now, and then you run that department. And then you take the next batch and you put that in a different code for a different department.
Okay.
That's not how
I just ask because that would make tracking it quite a bit easier, and then you'd know who's the mailing actually coming from.
Right, so most of the mail is done by Diane here in LaPorte. In Michigan City, there was another lady that ran a lot of it, but she's no longer with the county. And as in the machines breaking, when it was in Joey's department, you had people that didn't know, so then if something didn't work, they would just power it off when it's in the middle of something. Hard drives were going out. That's why the decision was made to move it back upstairs and let somebody monitor. Diane does track how much regular mail goes out, how much certified every day, even with the departments that want to watch her do it. Where we ran into the problem was the departments that would bring over like certifieds and have their departments run the mail was they were going out at the wrong postage. So that's why we kind of tried to bring it back in so that we didn't overpay for postage that, didn't need to be. But there really isn't I know what you're talking about, a user, because we do that on some of the copiers that are shared by most departments, but in general, on the postage machine, it's not.
They're relatively.
With your guys' permission, I'd like to move to another.
Yes,
item
please.
Here. So some of these are contracted services, and I'm wondering why there's not an increase, or if the cost truly didn't go up. But like employees' life insurance, where we're paying for life insurance, are those costs not expected to go up next year?
Absolutely, but unfortunately, and I can tell you from 2018, the first time I was a commissioner, it's always been asked that our budget stays the same. And I can tell you personally, since 2018, every single budget, my budget, what it was as a commissioner in 2018 is what it is today. The premises has always been, if you need more money, come back and ask for it. So, we can up all these, but the reality is you're not going to give us the larger amount of what we need, because we're going to be told, just keep the budget the way it is, and then we'll...
Can you get, we just had general insurance here talking about the insurance for next year. Can you get whoever provides the life insurance policy, whether it's Michiana or general, whoever it is, can you get quotes for next year so we can better plug in numbers?
Oh, absolutely.
I think all of our insurance should be quoted.
Should be what?
Should be quoted every year. Excuse me. I do that on my farm every year.
It is. So, and one of the things that was missed when he was here, now that you brought that up, was the fact that we put one payment of $600,000 into our insurance fund because we ran short. And then last year, and then we put another $500,000 into it for a total of $1.1 million. And I was talking to the gentleman outside, when the clinics got brought in, no funding mechanism was added to that budget. So UMR was still depositing their checks. Currently, I believe this month alone, was it 41,000 or 51,000 or 5,100? How much did we pay? Yeah. It's $52,000 this month was paid out to North Shore. And so we're still paying for the labs. I think that, if we need an executive session, if we need to sit down, we need to bring you guys all the bills so that you can actually see what we're paying out on a monthly basis for this. I think that would be more of an accurate picture for you guys to see, rather than to have someone come up here and say everything is free when it's not free, because we're paying the bills, we're stamping them, and we're putting out anywhere between $40,000 and $50,000 a month. So obviously there was a problem way back when we didn't fund it to begin with, and then we're taking all the rebate checks from UMR, and then we're putting out towards the clinic. And so it's not a fair
It's not.
analogy just to have someone come up here and say, oh, no, everything is free.
Because that was offsetting.
It's perspective, right? It's perspective of the employee, and that's, I think, the benefit for the employee that was what was trying to be portrayed there or being focused on. Earlier, I guess it would have been last month, the commissioners came to us in terms of an additional appropriation to professional services, and I see that now, was that in regards to professional services, or was that for, I want to say it's professional consulting service? So we have 30065 for professional consulting service and 30135, which is professional services. You'd mentioned that you were down to 24,000, which I think shows under the professional services based off this balance here.
Professional service would be approximately 24.
Yep.
And then the professional consultants, I'm guessing roughly 53,000, somewhere there.
What's the difference between them? What are the intended purposes between the two of them?
I have no idea. I'm just learning.
So one of them is for like our lawsuits, and obviously, I mean, we've got lawsuits that we're carrying from a couple years ago.
Yep.
We're still having to represent those cases. We have additional new lawsuits. We have a lot of our professional consulting fees, believe it or not, and Mike can attest to this. All the different contracts that we have, Sender and Company, SEH, Peterson Consulting, Baker Tilly, EDA Consulting. A lot of those are not really for the commissioners themselves, but it's used in the auditor's office, and we pay that. So unfortunately, that's why we have it broken down into two. One is for the actual attorneys that we need for the lawsuits and the day-to-day business. The other one would be the consulting fees that we're using for the different departments that need consultants.
Okay, so with that, there's also the $240,000 is for legal fees.
Correct.
Now, you mentioned earlier that the commissioners see the FMEC attorney costs, the building commission or the planning commission, and BZA, which I saw that is accurate. They're not paying for that out of their budget. How much of that $240,000 is for explicit day-to-day activities versus litigation?
I'd have to break it down.
Okay.
You'd have to give us, some time to sit there and break it all down.
Okay.
Because again, I would have to look at, go ahead.
Mr. Auditor, go ahead.
I wanted to share, I'm looking at the report that I had handed out, that I was requested from me, and under the 30135, where it says professional services, that is primarily for the financial services of Sender and Company.
Okay. And
all the attorneys are coming out of the other account, so that would be the breakdown that I've seen in just a few seconds of just taking a look at it. The other contained the various attorneys for various things, whether it be for the council or whether it be for the commissioner's attorney, and then we also use services for out of there from some other attorney from other legal firms that may have to do with employee matters. That's what I'm recognizing off the top, and some other lawsuits. The NIPSCO case, as part of it, is included in there, and this is just from a minute and a half look, 90-second look.
Okay.
Okay.
The reason I ask is I'm not sure that budgeting for potential litigation is the best opportunity for use of county funds or general funds, and that's the only reason I ask. Now, obviously, if we're in the middle of something, right, and I know of a few that we're in the middle of right now, or one that was multiple year and we just finished this current year, those make sense to me. It's more along the lines of, for instance, the litigation with NIPSCO in order to contest the rate hike. It really didn't come back with a lot of merit or a lot of teeth in the agreement, and I wasn't sure that was a best
We got the
use
gen
of the 50
station.
cents.
We got the gen station. We got $3 million to put towards a new center, like for improvements. So KOP upgrades. I mean, so what did you? I mean, so now you're going to start working and telling us how much money we should yield for every case that we have?
Not necessarily. More along the
Is there a
lines of
percentage you want us to follow?
not at all. What I'm saying, I'm only expressing my personal opinion, is it comes down to, would it have been better for the 10 of us in an exec session to discuss, hey, we want this pending litigation, and here's what it's going to cost us, and here's what we're going for. That decision, in my
So
opinion.
you want us to give up so the commissioners are the ones who usually decide whether cases are going to go to litigation. So when we have an employee issue and that has to go to litigation, are we going to have the council come and join us and make that decision with us as well too?
In terms of the funding of it, it might be appropriate. I am only expressing my opinion for discussion with the other 6 that are up here.
I think Mr. Kronka's point might be that it's a question of whether or not this is a discretionary expenditure or if this is one that's absolutely necessary. Having an attorney at meetings, having certain legal advice that's available to you, having someone to represent you in litigation, these are non-negotiable, non-discretionary items. But hiring an attorney to pursue this NIPSCO thing is not necessarily absolutely required.
We're just going to publicly condemn the whole NIPSCO. So the problem is you guys have an issue with the NIPSCO case.
We're questioning whether or not the council should be involved in that process of choosing to move forward with it beforehand, rather than agreeing that we have to fund it because we already paid for it.
Because hearing about it on the news.
This is no different than when Tim Stables got sued, right? And the commissioners did not want to support that lawsuit, but the council went ahead and supported it anyways, correct? Is that any different?
I think from what I'm hearing from the council's perspective, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what the council's perspective is that they're trying to develop a budget for the normal and regular legal fees that the county would encounter on an ongoing annual basis. Like they mentioned, be it either, dealing with all the different issues that we have with, that come up with suits for either the jail or employment issues or whatever else, that the voluntary things, what I'm hearing is that things that are voluntary or that are not in the normal course, like it's not in the normal course to, you mentioned NIPSCO, it's not the normal course to just, have a NIPSCO lawsuit. So what I'm hearing is, and I think what the intent of the council, kind of from what I'm hearing, is that for normal and customary legal expenses, that's what they're budgeting for things that, between the 2 different NIPSCO things that are going on, between the rate hike fight and then the data center thing, we're probably looking at $100,000 so in total. So with that, considering budget constraints and how tight things are, if we're voluntarily dropping an extra $100,000, I think the council just
Do you know for sure it's $100,000?
Well, we know the NIPSCO rate hike, we paid $50,000 for them to raise our rate 16%. And then on the other part, the data center part, I think
So they were
you
asking
agreed to another $50,000.
32%, and they went down to 16%. I mean, again, we're making this public. We're just publicizing.
Commissioner, I wasn't
So
finished.
the majority.
The point here is that we don't need, is that if it's normal and customary, it should be budgeted, but it shouldn't just be a play fund to hand out money to our own personal attorneys.
All right, so folks,
Okay, but here we
enough,
go.
enough.
So
enough.
the council paid for something for an attorney for an individual when the commission did not approve it. True or not true?
We paid for a bill that we received as a county. It came across the claims doc. If we're talking about the same situation, it was not approved to pay, but it was a bill for services that were rendered, and we had to pay it.
Under the advice of our attorney, we were told that it's our job to provide funding to represent elected officials when they get sued, whether we agree with it or not.
Can we focus on?
Yeah, let's focus what we have. I very much agree with you. So at this point, we've talked a number of different items. The one major concern that we have open in front of us right now is what is the actual insurance going to cost us at this point, instead of pay what we've done for the last, in this case, since 2018, so 7 years. and then come back and fund it again later with an additional appropriation. Is there a chance that we can get some accurate numbers quickly in order to populate this
We
properly?
have to approve that at a meeting. So they would come to us with
Just get an estimate,
proposals.
if they know what the cost is going to be for next year. You don't have to, we're not saying renew it, just like Eric was here for GIS, he said, this is what we anticipate next year.
Yeah.
You guys still have to approve that. We don't know.
Agreed.
If you guys stay with UMR,
We just paid $2.8 million last month for a lot of our insurance coverage through Michigan Insurance. I know it's going to probably be more than that next year just because everything's going to go up again.
Yep, for sure.
I think
Mr. Auditor, you had a point.
Yeah, there's two things. One of the things last year, just around the audit time, we had estimates of what the fees were going to be on the general insurance, and that was given to us by one group, not mentioning names, but one group who the commissioners use. Last year, when it came to the medical insurance, if you remember, we had Carl Sender looking into the matter, and he broke it up into the various departments. Now, remember, you've already talked to people how some of these things are reimbursable by grants, so even though the number says 7.5 million here, we know that number was really supposed to be 12 million amongst everybody, but I remember it only being 11,600,000. Don't ask why. I know that, but so the fact is that this is not the only number. We've got to take a look at all of the accounts and refigure it based upon whatever the new numbers are. And so that's going to be an exercise that's not going to be available today, but certainly, hopefully, by a late August meeting, we'll be able to have those all inputted in here and updated, and we can have it at another workshop. If and that's what my understanding of how we would work that. Okay, so it was really good to get some numbers today by having the insurance agent here earlier, and then we'll get the numbers out of the other one as well, and then we'll come back and put it all in here.
Okay. So with everything that we've discussed to this point, what does the council recommend doing at this point regarding
very quickly,
twos
if I
and
may,
threes?
Mr. President? Briefly, would it help the count? I think it would be beneficial, perhaps. So we're going out to market with the current broker that we have, but when looking out at some of the various conferences that we've been at over here over the past 12 months, we're hearing of multiple counties that are having reductions in their outgoing costs. Would it be a benefit to the council to have us bring in another broker to be able to also have competing bids? Because different brokers work with different firms. They have different abilities with different insurance agencies and companies and stop loss writers and things like that. Considering we're seeing some other counties, including some neighboring counties, seeing some savings. Instead of seeing continued year after year increases, would be a benefit to the council to see us bring.
Again, you're asking a recommendation from them, and they don't decide.
That's your job.
That's a
To
commissioner's.
the extent that it relates to the financial component, I think that would be positive. I mean, about 12 to 15% of our total expenditures is going to employee health insurance. So if you can knock off a couple percentage, that sounds like it'd be of interest to us.
That's something that commissioners can do without coming to us and asking.
Yeah, no, you don't need it. I just wanted to.
Any savings would be beneficial.
Certainly.
All right.
To wrap up an earlier conversation point, I think there's consensus probably that there are items on here that we would like you to keep the same and come back when you need more money. But there are some items on here that if you know that there's going to be an increase and we know we're going to have to fund it, like employee life insurance, we would like the most accurate number possible, not it just to remain the same. So when you're able to provide substantiated contracts for services that are non-negotiable, the best numbers possible are preferred.
Do we also have
means an
Well,
increase?
I mean, you have four lines right here. Unemployment compensation, you know for sure it's going to go up because we always fall short on that. You have the OASDI withhold. You have the medical withhold. You have the retirement withhold. So you know that every single year, even though our numbers aren't changing, that's going to go up.
Any of these vendors that you guys currently use, if you can get a number, bring it back to us. And in the same token, do we know how much the mental health is going to be next year, what the increase will be?
They'll send it to
We have not received the letter.
You haven't received it yet?
We're supposed to be receiving some things today, but I'm not focused on my email, and I'm not sure which numbers are coming in today. But within this month, if we take a look at, that's what happened over the summer last year.
I make
the
a
auditor
motion.
did receive them.
Not that-
Could I
go
also make a reminder? Last year, you held over their entire budget for another workshop. Only because a lot of these things weren't answered, and rather than try and do piecemeal, I'm going to suggest that you do that, and that way we can get some new numbers in here. There's been some suggestions to me privately about moving some numbers from one department to another, like the payroll, moving it to the auditor's department. That's something that has not been discussed with them. So maybe we can have that discussion. Yes, my department takes care of it. So I'm just throwing that out there so we can take one thing off of their plate also.
All right, so I have a motion to table. Do I have a second? Second from Mr. Keel. All in favor of tabling the commissioner's budget for now? I'll say by saying aye. Aye. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So when are we going to be notified of what's being taken from us and transferred over to the auditors?
It'll all be done right here in front of us.
The next hearing.
Nothing's going to happen. We're going to invite you back for another meeting, so it's not.
All right, so next on the list, let's go to the health department real quick.
Real quick?
There's nothing real quick about
Real quick there.
Yep. Or instead of holding them over to after lunch and then get it knocked out.
We got to.
After lunch?
Would you prefer to do it after lunch?
Whatever's gonna make you guys happy.
After lunch.
Preference, folks?
I think we know yours is a little bit more than 10 minutes worth, so I.
Let's hold on.
Let's go till 1. All right, so we're going to recess till 1 o'clock. All right.